Restaurant in beautiful downtown Hartford or near the EAA in Oshkosh. Mondays are tough enough, don't cook. Buy one pizza today, get one free. MineshaftRestaurant.com. It's the amazing Mineshaft.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
You won't find a braver team than this crew.
And the first pitch to him is lined out towards left. Coming over is Churio. Diving catch. And this ball game is in the books.
The Brewers take on the Braves at American Family Field. Our coverage starts tonight at 6 with Brewers warm-up on your home for the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
6 o'clock, I'm Erik Bilstad. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Monday, July 29th. Our top story, big changes proposed for the Supreme Court.
I'm Adam Roberts in for Vince Vitrano. A quintuple shooting leaves teens injured.
I'm Debbie Loziga, northbound on 94, starting off with an accident. The two left lanes are blocked just as you're getting up to Highway 158, so just be prepared for that. Take it easy, give them a wide berth. The rest of the system is actually looking okay. We're really not seeing any other delays or issues. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cloudy today. There is a chance for a shower or a storm later on. Going to be humid the next couple of days, a high of 81. Tonight, partly cloudy, some patchy fog late, a low of 71. Right now, 72 at 6:01. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Biden is proposing 3 significant reforms of the U.S. Supreme Court. The president said in an op-ed this morning that these changes would restore trust and accountability to not just the Supreme Court, but also the presidency itself. ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
The president would have term limits put in place to end the service of a Supreme Court justice after 18 years. President Biden says that this would help ensure the court's membership regularly changes and that nominations for Supreme Court justices can become more predictable.
Now, the president is also proposing no immunity for crimes a former president committed in office and that Congress should pass a binding, enforceable conduct and ethics rules for the U.S. Supreme Court.
In Milwaukee, 5 teenagers recovering after an early morning shooting over the weekend.
Milwaukee police say the quintuple shooting happened near 92nd and Silver Spring at around 5 Sunday morning. An 18-year-old, a 17-year-old, 2 16-year-olds, and a 15-year-old, all suffering non-fatal injuries. All 5 teens arrived at local hospitals to seek treatment of their gunshot wounds. This comes just a week after a 17-year-old girl was shot and killed, with 9 others injured at a party in Milwaukee's Deneen Park, in another gathering of young people turned violent. MPD says nobody is in custody and they're investigating what led up to the shooting. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
An emergency landing in Dodge County. The Dodge County Sheriff's Office receiving reports of a plane flying low with sounds like it was having engine issues. This happened early Sunday. Law enforcement found 2 planes in a farm field in the town of Hubbard. Now, the pilot from Georgia told officers he lost power, had to bring it down. The second plane was flying with him. That pilot also came down just to check on the first pilot. Both now on their way back home to Georgia from the EAA. No one was hurt.
Suspects, meanwhile, still on the loose after an assault in Random Lake. That's up in Sheboygan County, where the sheriff's office says the incident happened during the Random Lake picnic at the Random Lake Fire Department between 9 and midnight Saturday. The alleged assault taking place behind the main tent or the gathering area near a truck and camper trailer. The sheriff's department is looking for at least 3 suspects.
I'm here to support the black-owned business because it's not too many around no more.
Brunetta Johnson, one of the many shoppers at Sherman Park Grocery that got in on their grocery giveaway. The store celebrating its 2nd anniversary on Saturday by giving away $10,000 in grocery gift cards in an effort to tackle food insecurity. Johnson tells our partners at TMJ4 News.
They understand the shortage of food, the shortage of money, ever since the COVID, so their prices are reasonable. They're here for the black community.
The store is hoping to raise funds for those on its gift card waiting list.
Coming up, more issues in France breaking this morning, and it's all happening as the Olympics remain underway.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:04.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
Okay, I'm ready to record my jewelry store's new radio spot. I got a great script that really goes after Diamonds Direct and how they're nothing special and how we can match their price. Great stuff.
Oh, great. We have this new technology that bleeps out any false claims, so it saves us time with editing. So you can start anytime.
Okay, here goes. When you visit our jewelry store, we'll guarantee direct. Our diamonds come straight. We have cutters and... Hey, what the...
The hard truth is that other jewelry stores simply can't do what Diamonds Direct can. Diamonds Direct has special relationships with De Beers, international connections, and virtually unlimited buying power. The result is true direct importer pricing, exceptional quality, and up to 30 times the diamond selection you find at other stores.
I can't believe this thing won't let me say...
Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get more truth at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Now open in Wauwatosa.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Yet another strong storm rolled through Oak Creek and South Milwaukee, causing actual damage at my house. Thankfully, I knew exactly what to do. I called my friends Jeff and Jake at Loyal Family Renovations, and Jeff came by to assess the damage. If your home has suffered storm damage, don't leave it up to the out-of-towners. Loyal Family is family-owned, and the loyalty belongs to their customers. Contact them today for a free damage inspection, and they'll help make your home remodeling dreams a reality. LoyalFamilyRenovations.com.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
The famous Fox and Hounds restaurant in Hubertus is hiring reliable, hardworking cleaners. You'll make real money in a friendly atmosphere, working all morning hours. It's a great part-time job. Inquire today and start next week. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 6:06.
He's back. That story at 6:15.
In France, more issues as the Paris Olympics continue this morning. The French government saying multiple communication lines are being hit by acts of vandalism, in fact, impacting their fiber lines as well as mixed and mobile phone lines in cities across the nation. This as the Olympics continuing later this morning. As of right now, the scale of the impact still unclear. It's a developing situation. It comes less than a week after an arson attack hit those train networks. That was hours before the opening ceremony. An arrest has been made in connection to those incidents.
The Brewers' all-time home run leader was honored at American Family Field on Sunday. Ryan Braun inducted into the team's Walk of Fame. Braun took the field one more time to thank everyone who supported him in his career, especially Brewers fans.
Thank you for packing the ballpark night in and night out throughout my career. Thank you for the encouragement, support, and motivation. Thank you for inspiring me to be at my best when it mattered most.
So Braun spent 14 years with the crew. He also had this to say, a little brevity.
I am filled with immense gratitude and pride, and humbled to be standing in front of you. You know, I've been in town for a few days now, and I've been joking with some of the players and Coach Murphy that we could pivot and make this speech the official announcement that I'm coming out of retirement to play the rest of this season.
He's coming back.
Wouldn't hate that.
At least I think we were joking. Where's Murph? Look at Murph over here. Were you joking?
Yeah, it's just a joke.
Yeah,
He's not coming back.
Easy.
As much as sometimes you could use the bat in the lineup. Anyway, 6:08.
When you're at State Fair this year, be sure to check out the Bank 5-9 Amphitheater, State Fair's largest free entertainment venue, featuring acts like Here Come the Mummies, Gaelic Storm, and Pat McCurdy. Bank 5-9 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they've served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Bank 5-9 between August 1st and 11. Member FDIC.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's. Flavor is our family's business.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life.
Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
Debbie, you hear the planes at all over the weekend?
Oh, yeah. We heard it was the Thunderbirds went flying
there you go.
around over us. And then yesterday, I think it was the Italian group that was flying over.
Nice.
Too. So
right.
I think they were leaving. So
heading out. The air show is officially over. How are the roads this morning?
Looking pretty good with the exception of in Kenosha, just before you get to Highway 158, we got the 2 left lanes blocked with a crash. Looks like it's a red pickup truck that's got the front end all crunched in. So I'm not sure what the other vehicle is. I think it might be a little bit further on. So just be extra careful if you're going to be heading through that area. Otherwise, east and westbound looking pretty good on 94. No major delays there. Southbound 43 and 41 both looking just fine heading in towards the downtown area. You should find no problems. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. More clouds than sunshine for today. The chance for some scattered showers and storms. It will be humid for today with high temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. The chance for some patchy fog developing late. Low temperatures in the 70s. On Tuesday, temperatures get warmer, mid to upper 80s. Mostly sunny skies. Heat and humidity continues with a small chance for an afternoon shower or storm. Wednesday, temperatures stay elevated in the upper 80s. We'll look at scattered showers and storms possible. Same thing for Thursday. High temperatures well into the 80s with a chance for showers and storms. Friday, rain chances start to come down a bit with high temperatures in the mid-80s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore. The Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now, 72 at 6:11.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. In for Vince Petrano, here's Erik Bilstad.
And a good Monday morning to you. Vince is back tomorrow. Erik here along with Adam Roberts, fresh off his bachelor party weekend. You look all right.
Do I? We went paintballing on Saturday, and I forgot the golden rule. When you're outside for more than an hour, you got to put on sunscreen.
Little sunblock.
So my neck's a little stiff this morning.
Oh, crispy.
Great weekend, though. A lot of my old friends from lacrosse came down. And weddings less than 3 months out, so we'll be getting married in mid-October.
It's getting real now. Debbie Lazago, of course, has our roads. Thanks to Tiff Pua for handling everything in the newsroom today. And, of course, Greg Pancake Hill doing everything else, including sports today. So thank you, Greg. But again, Vince is back tomorrow. What are the stories that we're following? Another escalation of sorts. Although you're curious to see how this one moves forward. Renewed fears that the Israeli-Hamas war is going to spark something bigger as far as a bigger conflict goes. This after a deadly airstrike on a soccer field. So Hezbollah has been firing missiles into the northern portion of Israel for a while now, and they hit a soccer field, killing 12 children in Golan Heights. ABC's Jordana Miller.
The prime minister cut his trip short in the United States, came back earlier. But at the same time, Israel is not interested in hitting so hard that we will see this escalate into a regional war, a declared war between Israel and Hezbollah. Hezbollah as well has signaled it is not interested in a war.
Yeah, both sides are like, hey, we don't really need this to escalate. It was an accident, which sounds funny to say, but that's really what it was. It was just a misfired missile that hit this soccer field.
And you can see from Israel's perspective, historically, any nation that fights a two-front war, it just doesn't usually end up well. So I can totally understand the want for restraint. Obviously, pins and needles in this region. We're now nearing the 10-month mark since the October 7th attacks last year. And so we'll have to watch how this continues. But the last thing you want to see is more escalation.
And there will likely be some type of retaliation. CBS reporter Linda Gradstein.
Tensions between Israel and Hezbollah are running high after the Israeli cabinet authorized the prime minister to retaliate against Hezbollah. Analysts say that if Israel strikes Beirut, it could prompt a larger rocket attack by Hezbollah and lead to a full-scale war. But they said that if Israel limits its response to South Lebanon, there is a good chance Hezbollah will not respond.
Yeah, maybe they won't if they hit certain regions. So I guess that's what's happened already, but they're not sure if this is actually the reaction officially. Lebanon state-run news media is reporting that Israeli strikes killed a couple of people in southern Lebanon early this morning. And the report came as Israel's mulling this response. So they don't think the strikes this morning appear to be Israel's official response yet to this soccer attack. I guess I shouldn't call it attack, but it really was. A rocket hit a soccer field that killed 12 kids. So Israel obviously frustrated and angered about that and will retaliate at some point. We'll keep monitoring that situation. It is 6:14. A familiar face returns to American Family Field, and I'm not talking about Ryan Braun. That story next.
What's great about America? Football, free refills, and pizza with cheese baked into the crust. You know what else is great about America? Being who we want to be, living where we want to live, and choosing who we want to do business with. That, my friend, is sweet, sweet freedom. So, Mr. Holland's Home Services is celebrating the month of the free with a deal that you can only get in the good old USA. Through July, purchase a fully warranted, complete comfort system, and Mr. Holland's crew will install a brand new water heater at no extra cost. In other words, it's free. And speaking of free, Mr. Holland's Home Services is offering interest-free financing with approved credit. Declare your independence from oppressive heat and frigid showers. Call today to secure your free water heater with the purchase of a new comfort system. 866-992-1717. Or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If you're ready to party like it's 1776, we can help.
Now, time for a sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Greg Hill.
Yeah, the Brewers closing out a weekend series against the Marlins on Sunday afternoon. It took an all-around effort for the crew to take this one. The offense waking up a little bit after a sleepy weekend at AmFam Field.
First one to him. Fly ball deep right. It is out of here, and the Brewers have the lead. Beware of the first pitch to Jake Bauers. That is his 8th home run of the season.
Yeah, that didn't take long. Jake Bauers on the hit. It's Jeff Levering on the call. Jake Bauers been struggling offensively as of late. That was his first home run in over a month. That, coupled with back-to-back diving catches from Bryce Terang, who saved multiple runs because the bases were loaded. And, of course, Devin Williams, fresh off his 60-day IL stint and his subsequent rehab start to have a scoreless ninth. All ingredients that it took to help the Brewers take home the win, 6-2 over the Marlins. So, like I said, it wasn't the best weekend, but listen to not only the coaching, but the life lessons that manager Pat Murphy hands down post-game.
I just want them to understand how great they are, and how they can bounce back and not to get down on themselves.
Okay, wait for it.
Wash it off. It might be hard sometimes.
You got to do it.
But you got to do it. Discipline, right? Doing what you're supposed to do.
What you're supposed to do, whether you like it or not.
Might be hard sometimes.
But you got to do it.
All right. Worry.
It's always the time.
Brainwashing.
Listen, if you got your kids already repeating it, you got the locker room repeating it too. I mean, goodness gracious, that's just so awesome.
I thought that was Sal Frelick. No,
it could be. They look just the same age too. Again, Brewers win 6-2. Then next up, they are taking on the Braves here at AmFam Field. Our coverage starts on WTMJ at 6 with Brewers warm up. Colin Ray on the hill this evening for the crew. On to the gridiron, a sign of relief from Packers fans. You want to hear what it sounded like collectively on Friday night, the news dump? Here's what it sounded like. Yeah. Jordan Love locked in for the next 4 years after this one, of course. $220 million contract extension to lock down Love in green and gold for the next foreseeable future. Now the Watson-Love connection already full go at practice.
It felt good to be able to get one and just run by him. And, Christian is the speed of the team right there. So to be able to hit him in stride and him make that play it felt good to connect on that first day back for sure.
Feels good we can talk X's and O's too. I mean, we don't have to get too nitty-gritty into the practice and training camp and all that before the season starts. But again, we don't have to talk Love extension anymore. No practice for the Packers today. They resume tomorrow, but Jason Wilde joins the show live at 7:45. And hey, how about an Olympics update? We checked the medal count as of right now. USA 3 gold medals already.
That's it? What?
2 in swimming, 1 in fencing, too. Yeah, kind of some ground to cover. But again, early in the Olympics. The real gold, though, is our guy Snoop Dogg, right? Just becoming the face of the Olympics this year. Snoop has shown his broadcast talents in the booth with the Brewers, as we know. But how about this highlight call? Bonus points if you can guess what sport Snoop is calling.
Back and forth. Give me that. No, I need that. No, over here. No, over there. What about over there? No, what about there? No, give me that. I need that. That too. No, sit down somewhere. Get down. Wait a minute. Hold it. Way up in the sky. Now down. Back up. Over there. Now over here. Get out the way. Move. I told you we need that.
That was a good point. What's a good point, Tarico? Any guesses on what he's calling?
Guess table tennis.
Nope.
No?
Badminton?
Badminton.
Yeah, it's badminton.
Doubles.
Most electric
Doubles
badminton call of all time. We'll go to live to Paris for our Olympics report coming up next.
6:19.
Welcome to another episode of Analysis, man.
From Bucks superstar Giannis.
And then I'm going to Chris at the time. What did coach mean? What do you...
And even Green Bay QB Jordan Love. There's only one call for these conversations.
I've never been in a Lambo, and I have to, right? What is this Lambo league?
Tune in to the Thanalysis Show, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Find it today on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere you get podcasts.
Life is for living and being comfortable, and I'm going to help you do that. Plus, I've got a great deal to help with that, too. Hi, everybody. Debbie Loziga here for Comfort Awnings, and I know what it's like to try and relax a little, sit out on your backyard and enjoy your space, and when that one puffy cloud moves, you suddenly feel like you're sitting on the grates of your grill, frying. If you've been feeling a little bit uncomfy, why not do this? Give my friends at Comfort Awnings a call and see what they can do for your outdoor space. It's what I did. They came up, measured my house, helped me pick out the perfect color and fabric, installed my brand new retractable awning, and bam, now I've got comfort. No more frying or baking on my back patio. Just relaxing breezes and an extra living space. And here's that deal for you. Now, until the end of July, a couple more days, you can receive $400 off any awning or screen. Just give them a call at 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com, and you're welcome.
Since 1946, Ansay & Associates has provided insurance to help secure businesses and families throughout Wisconsin. With custom coverage and superior customer service, Ansay & Associates can provide all of your insurance needs. Visit ansay.com today and get a free consultation with one of our strategists. Or come see us in person at any of our local offices. Ansay & Associates, securing and protecting your American dream.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Since 1955, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Hey, don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget. They'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geisdoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
6:22. Boy, Debbie, it didn't take long for the backups to start there in Kenosha County.
Yeah, I know. They're starting to build up quite a bit. So just want to be extra careful. What we're talking about here is an accident northbound on 94 just before you get to Highway 158. Basically, the two left lanes are blocked with this, and it's at least one pickup that's got the front end all crunched in. So just be extra careful if you're heading past that scene. Now, we got, like we mentioned, a little bit of a backup now forming around that area, so giving yourself a little extra time would be a good idea, or maybe use the frontage roads. Rest of the system is still looking pretty good. East and westbound 94 coming in from Highway 16 all the way to the Marquette. All clear right now. The bypass is even looking pretty good right now. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Gonna be humid. A chance for some showers this afternoon, a high of 81. Tonight, patchy fog, a low of 71. Tuesday, still humid, a high of 87. Right now, 72 at 6:23. The summer games are underway in Paris, and it looks like we may have had another issue pop up. Let's get the latest from Inez de la Cantera from ABC News, who joins us live from Paris. Did we have another sabotage occur, Inez?
Yeah, the second one so far. It's bizarre. So we did hear that overnight the facilities of one of the main telephone operators in France, SFR, were vandalized. Unclear, who could be behind that. We do understand, according to French media, that cables were cut in electrical cabinets. Some of the telephone operators' customers are affected. It's unclear how many people are affected. It's unclear if the Olympics themselves are going to be impacted by this. So this is all kind of breaking in just the last few hours. So we're still waiting for more information there. But certainly concerning, especially, given what we saw happening on Friday with the attack on the train network. So, and of course, officials here on high alert. Security has been ramped up. So more to come on that, but certainly concerning.
Well, a dinged-up Simone Biles returns to the Olympics, and so far so good, right?
That's right. Yeah, she is back in full force. So there were concerns for her after she had a weird landing during one of her warm-ups over the weekend. We saw her kind of limping around after that, but she pulled through. So this was for the gymnastics qualifiers, and she did amazingly well. She got an amazing score on vault. She pulled off two of her signature moves. So very cool to see her, just back on the mat, back in the spotlight. It's been really cool to watch. Suni Lee in gymnastics also doing really well, and both of them qualified for the all-around final. So that means we'll have two champions coming face to face, both from the same country. That is the first time that's happened. So that is certainly something to watch.
ABC's Inez de la Catera with us from Paris, talking Olympics. Another story that's kind of been up and down through the cycle, Inez, and we got an update on the Seine River, which is once again causing impacts to the swimming sessions of the Olympics. A training session just canceled 24 hours before a men's race was supposed to start. Are we working on getting this cleaned up? Is it sort of a go as we go kind of situation right now?
Yeah, pretty much. I think the Seine has been a big point of conversation ever since organizers said they wanted to hold some events in the Seine. Lots of skepticism. They want to hold triathlon and open water swimming in the Seine, but the water quality isn't great. And, every time it rains, the issue is that the sewage overflows into the Seine. And you guys saw it rain during the opening ceremony on Friday. It was raining all throughout the day on Saturday. And so that has, again, caused bacteria levels to surge. So they did have to cancel a test event for the triathlon on Sunday. And again, this morning, the men's triathlon is set to be held tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. Organizers have said if the quality is not good enough by tomorrow, what could happen is they could delay the event by a couple days, or they could decide to cancel the swimming portion of the competition. That would be very controversial because it would, totally change the sport. So we'll see what happens. As of now, they're insisting it will be ready by tomorrow because the sun is back out and the sun acts as a disinfectant.
Before we let you go, what's going on today? What are you keeping your eye on?
Today, I think skateboarding is the big one. So skateboarding was supposed to be held on Saturday. It was postponed because of the rain, but skateboarding is new to the Olympics, so that is very exciting. And we do have high hopes for Team USA's Nyjah Husted, who is favored to medal in that. So I think that's the big one today. A few swimming events. But yeah, I think skateboarding will be really, really interesting.
All right. ABC's Inez de la Catera. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Live from Paris. Didn't even get to ask her about Flava Flav, hanging out with the First Lady. Watching water polo.
Wow, and I was noticing too while I was watching gymnastics, particularly with Simone, just how many U.S. celebrities, Tom Cruise, didn't expect to see. I think they were making all these Tom Cruise Top Gun puns, and I just thought, oh, wow, that's just weird commentary. And then boom, there he is. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah,
there.
It's hot. Paris, man. That's the place to be.
Oh, yeah.
Time now for News Bunch of Money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Checking the stock futures. Right now, futures are up for the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ. Of course, the bell rings in 2 hours. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. We're all living longer. That means in all of our families, people are facing Alzheimer's, dementia, and other memory-related issues. Azura specializes in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They're Wisconsin-based, 14 in our state, 4 in our area. I've been in their buildings. They're fantastic. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, empathy and compassion at the core. It's Azura.
All you have is one chance after an accident. One decision on who to call. One shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
And that's the best thing about Capital's AC Beyondification.
Absolutely.
I agree. Hey, Merle, what you got? What's this? A screenplay?
Let me see this. Captain Capital, heat and air hero.
That's so awesome, Merle.
Hang on. I've been writing a screenplay like this.
For years.
It's an epic, and it's Capital Man, not Captain Capital. Yes, of course he restores your air conditioner to like new condition.
Says here, Captain Capital has a deep clean device.
Aha! Capital Man deep cleans your system with his laser beam hands.
What?
I'm developing a sidekick. He always does the comprehensive safety checks. You wrote yourself in as the sidekick?
As long as it gets across how Capital's AC beyondification saves the day.
And how you want to do it before summer hits.
Well, that's the whole point.
That's what I'm saying.
Then it's great.
Laura, Seth, I need a moment with Merle, please.
Schedule your AC beyondification today online at callcapitalcares.com.
6:30, I'm Erik Bilstad. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Monday, July 29th. Our top story, security measures for the next convention.
I'm Adam Roberts, getting the buy-in of all voters.
I'm Debbie Laziga, northbound 94, just before Highway 158. We got the two left lanes blocked with a crash in Kenosha County. And starting to see some delays westbound 894 coming in from Loomis, or from 27th Street past Loomis. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Going to be humid the next couple of days. A high of 81 with a chance for showers this afternoon. Tonight, a low of 71, partly cloudy. Tomorrow, the high is 87 at 6:30.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Day 3 of the Olympics in Paris with reports of vandalism hitting multiple telecommunications lines across France. The park fire in Northern California exploding over the weekend. It's now bigger than the city of Los Angeles. Renewed fears of a wider war in the Middle East after a deadly strike on a soccer field in the Israeli-controlled Golan Heights. ABC's Jordana Miller with more from Jerusalem.
Hezbollah, which has been firing on northern Israel for months, including the Golan Heights, where there are some of the most important IDF bases. It appears that Hezbollah rocket, that they misfired one of these, and it slammed into a soccer field Saturday afternoon where a bunch of children and teenagers were just playing soccer.
The president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, claiming to have won his third election. Opposition groups are doubting the legitimacy of the results. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Democratic National Convention is 3 weeks away in Chicago, and security measures are being put in place for that event. News Nation's Alex Caprilio is at the United Center.
The FBI says there are no known or credible threats to the Democratic National Convention here at the United Center in a little more than 3 weeks. Both federal and local law enforcement were in Milwaukee for the RNC to observe their operations and come up with a game plan that will be safe and successful. An incredibly thorough outreach program is also now underway, where city leaders are speaking to businesses, neighbors, and activist groups to ensure everyone is aware of the expectations surrounding this massive event. But Mayor Brandon Johnson says his city has been preparing for this moment since the day it was announced.
The Chicago Police Department is preparing for thousands of protesters.
We have 99 days until the presidential election this November, with the race for the White House looking like it'll be between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. However, Democratic presidential hopeful Marianne Williamson tells Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News she wants the party to look beyond its base as the election gets closer.
If all we win are the vote blue no matter who people, we will not win in November. We have to appeal to independents. We have to appeal to progressives. We have to appeal to those who don't even see any point in voting because for them things never change.
Williamson thinks an open convention and process for deciding the nominee besides simply rallying around Harris is necessary.
A deadly shooting on Milwaukee's north side. No one in custody. Police said this happened 9:30 Sunday night near 86 and Good Hope.
Meanwhile, 5 teenagers are recovering after a Sunday morning shooting near 92nd and Silver Spring. The victims ranging in age from 15 to 18, all expected to survive, comes a week after a 17-year-old girl was shot and killed with 9 others injured at a party at Milwaukee's Deneen Park. In this most recent shooting, no one is in custody.
Suspects remain on the loose after an assault in Random Lake. The Sheboygan County Sheriff's Office says this took place during the Random Lake picnic at the fire department there, 9 p.m. to midnight on Saturday. The alleged assault took place behind the main tent gathering area there near a truck and a camper trailer. The sheriff's department looking for 3 or more suspects.
Coming up, how to train your dragon fly.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 634. This portion of the show is sponsored by Sendix Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926.
Sendix limited time Hatch Pepper event is back. Order your fresh or roasted Hatch peppers now at sendix.com/hatch.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to SemperfiRoofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semperfi.
Ask about our finance options.
When you're at State Fair this year, be sure to check out the Bank 59 Amphitheater, State Fair's largest free entertainment venue, featuring acts like Here Come the Mummies, Gaelic Storm, and Pat McCurdy. Bank 59 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they've served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Bank 59 between August 1st and 11. Member FDIC.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlands.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you a free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're due for service.
Richlands.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:36.
Now we can focus on football. That story at 6:45.
Terror for some and humor for others on a beach in New England over the weekend.
Dragonflies. Oh my God.
Bathers on Mesquamacut Beach in Rhode Island ran for cover as a massive swarm of dragonflies descended. Some likened it to an apocalypse, others laughed it off. Dragonflies often swarm in summer breeding months or after smaller insects they feed on are kicked into the air by weather disturbances or human activity. They pose no danger to humans. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Except for that child I saw flown away. I'm just kidding. They didn't take
there goes little Johnny. I've seen an elephant fly. Now I've seen Johnny fly. Yeah, I always have thought when the apocalypse happens, it's going to be very much like Deborah Rodriguez explained. Some scream in terror, others just laughing it off, cracking a beer open, sitting in the chair, watching the swarm.
We noticed that. It's funny. You watch some of the video, and there's all kinds of video of this, all these dragonflies invading this beach. There's some kids just kind of sunbathing, just hanging out, not letting it get to them.
You'll see it a lot up north right now this time of year because they really start to come out in mid to late summer. So if you're up on the lake, they'll be flying around, might have one plop into your forehead. But other than that, not like this. Nothing like what we saw in New England.
Coming up, a Hollywood shocker. No one saw it coming. That story next.
Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialist. If you have at least $750,000 or more in investable assets, we can help you transition into the retirement you've worked so hard to achieve. Our 1-hour retirement planning consultation will help you walk away with the answers to your most critical retirement questions. If you're close to or already retired, give our office a call today at 262-522-4040 or visit thekowalway.com to schedule your complimentary no-obligation retirement review.
Kowal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for Tri-County Contracting. You need to get a new roof this year. You know it's time. You've budgeted for it. You're a homeowner, and it's okay. Now we got to go do it. So who are you going to find? Who are you going to call? Where are you going to go? It can be intimidating. It can be overwhelming. And you don't want to go to the wrong place. Well, I got one for you. I got a guy. Tri-County Contracting. They've been installing new roofs for homeowners like you since the late 70s. Locally owned and operated. You can either stop by their showroom in New Berlin or you can go to their website and you can learn all about what they have to offer. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com is the website. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
After 30 years of doing knee and hip replacements, Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup thought there had to be a better way, and that led him to regenerative medicine.
I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it.
Now, after 20 years of successful orthobiologic treatments, lots of clinical data, research, and teaching, Dr. Scheinkup is National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
They've done an amazing job of becoming the most significant orthobiologic and regenerative medicine practice in the United States. QC is so far ahead of the game in its science, its protocols, its people, its facilities.
So if you have chronic pain from arthritis and you want to avoid drugs and surgery, call the experts in this revolutionary field, QC Kinetics.
To give patients real lasting relief from pain, that's what I live for. That's my mission.
Get your free consultation now. Call QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at twomenajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
Quite the shocker during Comic-Con. That story in a minute. But first, Debbie Laza's got the roads. How are we looking there in Kenosha County?
It's a little bit better. They were able to clear this thing out of there. The lanes have been reopened. Everything is pretty much off on the right shoulder. So just be extra careful still as you're going through there as they're working it out. Otherwise, westbound 894, seen a bit of a backup between Loomis and Forest Home, mainly between from 51st Street to 68th is really where I'm seeing the delays. Rest of the system is actually moving along pretty well. I'm Debbie Lozgo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic sponsored by Two Men in a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Plenty of heat and humidity in the forecast all week long. For today, mostly cloudy skies will keep our temperatures down a bit in the upper 70s and lower 80s. Still lots of humidity around for today, giving us the chance for scattered showers and storms. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, the chance for some fog, late low temperatures in the 70s. On Tuesday, mostly sunny skies. Heat and humidity continues with high temperatures in the upper 80s. Small chance for an afternoon shower or storm. Wednesday, our rain chances go up a little bit more with high temperatures well into the 80s. The humidity also stays with us. Thursday's another hot day, high temperatures in the upper 80s with partly cloudy skies, the chance for scattered showers and storms. And on Friday, temperatures start to come down a bit, highs in the mid-80s with a chance for an afternoon shower or storm. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now it's 6:41, 72 degrees. Wisconsin's Morning News. Vince is back tomorrow. Erik Bilstad along with Adam Roberts.
Good morning, Erik. So, normally on Monday, you'd be talking box office. It'd be that there was a big score, and especially when Marvel is involved. Deadpool and Wolverine, once again, cleaning house, $205 million opening weekend. Best ever for an R-rated movie, by the way.
That's good just for anything, too. Like 205 for a weekend. I think that was much better than they anticipated.
So you'd expect me to be walking in with that if we were talking Marvel, but that is not the case because there was a shocker at Comic-Con over the weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, as proof of the unimaginable possibilities in the Marvel multi-universe, we give you the one person who could play Victor Von Doom.
Dramatic pause. And the crowd goes wild as it is revealed Robert Downey Jr.
Oh yeah, fan
will play
favorite.
the role of Dr. Doom.
Now, how does that work? Isn't he already in Marvel as the Iron Man guy?
No, he did.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Thanks for
Spoiler
spoiling.
alert.
Well, yeah. Okay, but so then he's not Tony Stark anymore. He's just gonna play a new character.
Yep. And we kind of see this in film franchises occasionally where a familiar face is like, hey, I don't know who that guy is. I am now Dr. Doom. I don't know who this Tony Stark individual is. Downey immediately reacting in real time.
New mask. Same task.
Great rhyme.
What did I tell you? I like playing complicated characters.
You know, I'll say this: brilliant maneuver for Marvel. Go with what works, and you know Robert Downey Jr. works, so you might as well.
And that's been the MO for the entire cinematic universe for these last 10, 15 years is, hey, we know the formula, we know what people want to see, and I mean, Robert Downey was about as versatile an actor as you'll find in modern acting. So if there's anyone who can do it and already have the familiarity with the fan base and what they want to see, it's probably him.
Avengers Doomsday will come out May of 2026, followed by another Avengers movie in May of 2027.
And another 3 for every year in perpetuity until we all die.
Oh, yeah. Right, because it works. 6:44, sports in a minute.
When you have a stuffy nose, life can be a bit unpleasant. Some live every day with a stuffy nose, and that can make life downright miserable. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent, where we are committed to eliminating your nasal breathing problems with simple in-office procedures like balloon sinuplasty, which requires no surgical cuts, little to no downtime, and can have you breathing better in less than 30 minutes. At Advent, we understand your inability to breathe freely limits your quality of life. And that's why we continue to pioneer the most advanced in-office procedures that have made our practice a global destination for those seeking to live their highest quality of life. Visit AdventKnows.com to see if you're a candidate for the balloon sinuplasty procedure. Because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
Now, time for a sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Greg Hill.
Yeah, no sweep for you, Marlins. The Brewers, with the help of all involved, put together a team win, including a diving save with bases loaded. It's Bryce Terang.
1-2 pitch is lined into a diving stop by Terang. What a catch by Bryce. Ranging to his left. Full extension. He caught it just before it got to the dirt.
Lane Grindle on the call, 7 pitches later.
Crowd sensing the moment, putting their hands together to encourage Tobias. 3-2 pitch. Lined into another diving catch by Terang. Behind the bag at second, and the Brewers get out of it. Oh, Bryce Terang. What a show he put on in the third.
Yeah, not to mention bases loaded, everybody. Do not forget that. Bases loaded on those back-to-back catches. Oh, by the way, Airbender, Devin Williams, fresh off his 60-day IL stint. He's back as well. Devin tossing a scoreless 9th inning. The Brewers take down the Marlins 6-2. Next up for the Crew, they host the Atlanta Braves tonight. Our coverage starts with Brewers warm-up right here on WTMJ at 6. And in the most Friday news dump of all time, Jordan Love finally got his extension. When did you get the notification? 8 p.m.?
It was late.
Are you serious? Sweet. Anyway, you can get mad all you want, like me, but he's signed. He's locked in $220 million over the next 4 years. That's one milestone that's done. On to the next.
You got a wedding to pay for, right?
I do. I'll be, after the season, all that, but yeah, definitely. Price went up on the wedding, I guess.
Yeah, hope it was worth the holdout for you there, Love. I'm just kidding. Good timing. The Packers off today, but Jason Wilde is, and he joins us next hour. And the coolest Olympic gold that has been handed out so far at the Olympics in Paris, 14-year-old Koko Yoshizawa takes home the gold in skateboarding. Let me say that again. 14 years old. She took home the gold in the women's division. So cool. So I looked it up. I was thinking that this would easily be the youngest Olympian at 14. There is a... Go ahead. Do you know?
I was going to guess like 11 or something.
You're spot on. There's a Chinese skateboarder, Zhang Haohao, 11 years old.
Come on.
She's competing. 11. What is that even? I could not even fathom what that takes. 11, you're competing internationally? Good for you. Men's skateboarding happening right now, by the way. The medal round expected to take place this morning at 10 local time.
The best part about being 11 is that you don't know any better.
You don't even know what pressure is.
Yeah.
It's like if you look around, you're like, oh, there was a quote from that 11-year-old, and it's something to the tune of, I'm happy to get together with my friends. I'm glad there's no pressure on you.
My favorite player is LeBron James.
Yeah, seriously.
6:48.
The Upswing with Jeff Sherman.
As you're looking at locations, what did that process look like?
Get to know what's going on in the community and businesses throughout Milwaukee and Wisconsin.
Being in our location as close as we are, we sat there and did foot traffic counts and demographic study on us, and Ben & Jerry's was blown away.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
The summer of excitement continues with Hall Volkswagen. Hey, everybody, Debbie Lazaga here. I wanted to tell you about the redesigned 2024 VW Atlas. This thing is gorgeous. Have you seen one of these things? It's the ultimate in comfort and safety, and you can take a look at one right now in Brookfield at Hall Volkswagen. It has room for up to 7 passengers, plus all the stuff that goes along with all of your summer adventures. And with the IQ drive safety enhancing technology standard on these bad boys, you can feel comfortable in knowing your whole family is safe. Did I pique your interest? Well, check out the 2024 VW Atlas on Blue Mound Road at Hall Volkswagen. It's Hall good.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Elmbrook Family Dental. I want to tell you they have nearly a dozen caring dentists at 3 different locations, 2 in Brookfield and another opening August 1st in Wauwatosa. You can book now at elmbrookfamilydental.com. That new location in Tosa is at 800 Mayfair Road. What makes them stand out from everyone else I've ever gone to is their quality of dentistry. Just head to elmbrookfamilydental.com. That's ELMBROOK familydental.com.
Now is the best time to sell your home. Market is ripe, and Grandview Homes will pay more now than ever before. Plus, we'll buy your home as is in any condition. No repairs or cleanouts needed. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station.
6:50 on a Monday morning. All right, Debbie Lazaga.
All right, westbound on 894. Going to be heavy from Loomis all the way to about 68th Street, so keep that in mind. We do still have that accident northbound 94. I said the 2 left lanes are cleared up just before Highway 50, well, right, just past Highway 50, I should say. It's off on the right lane now. That's at least... it's in the same spot. I don't know if it's the same accident or not, but they're saying the right lane is blocked now. So just something to keep in mind. Folks are getting past it without too much of a problem at the moment. Westbound 94, quick tap of the brakes right through the stadium interchange to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Hey, Debbie, a Milwaukee bar named among the best taverns in the U.S., according to USA Today.
About time. We've got enough of them.
I'm not sure why they picked this one. It's been around a long time. Bryant's, the cocktail lounge on the south side there, got selected as one of 27 best bars of the year, according to USA Today. I don't know where USA Today was 10 years ago or 20 years ago. Bryant's has been around
Get with the
bit,
times, buddy.
But it is good for them. Good. Nice little establishment. The forecast, by the way, sponsored by Dave Drake Hemp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. For today, cloudy. It's going to be humid. There is a chance for a storm later on today, a high of 81. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 71. Tuesday, humid yet again, 87. Wednesday, still humid, 87 as well. A chance for rain both of those days. Also, humid on Thursday, Friday, humid, highs in the 80s every day with chances for rain every day. Right now it's 6:52. It is 72 degrees. A couple of big stories that we are following this morning. President Biden this morning now officially proposing 3 significant reforms of the U.S. Supreme Court. He says in an op-ed that these changes would restore the trust and accountability to not just the Supreme Court, but also to the presidency. ABC's Stephen Portnoy running through some of the expectations in these proposals.
The president would have term limits put in place to end the service of a Supreme Court justice after 18 years. President Biden says that this would help ensure the court's membership regularly changes and that nominations for Supreme Court justices can become more predictable.
So 18-year term limits for justices. He's also calling for a constitutional amendment to ensure no president is immune from prosecution for crimes committed while in office. Then he has one more significant proposal from Stephen here.
The president is urging Congress to pass binding, enforceable ethics and conduct rules that would have the justices disclosing gifts and recusing themselves from cases in which they or their spouses have conflicts of interest.
So you got term limits. You want to impose some opportunity for the Supreme Court to police itself. What does CBS legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum think of that?
In either case, Chief Justice Roberts is not going to be happy, and I'm not sure how many of the justices will publicly approve. The High Court believes that the separation of powers grants the court institutional independence. They will see this as a power grab.
In other words, don't tell me what to do.
I've got a cush gig over here. I'm set for life. What do you mean?
You're not
18
the boss
years?
of me.
Right, yeah. And the expectation is obviously with only so many days left in President Biden's term that nothing will move on this, but it is a big push that he is moving forward on today. He's going to be in Austin today, by the way. Meanwhile, members of the local SWAT team that were on duty at the Butler, Pennsylvania Donald Trump rally, the one where Trump was shot at and he was hit in the ear. Those members of that local SWAT team tell ABC News that there was a extreme lack of planning and communication resulted in the failure to protect the former president. They say they never even heard from the Secret Service. Here's a report that is going to come to Good Morning America here after the 7 o'clock hour. We got it early. Here's from ABC's Aaron Katursky.
These are the SWAT team members who were assigned to take up positions in defense of former President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. And they told us they had no communication with the Secret Service until after the gunfire started. The SWAT team saw the shooter. They recognized him as suspicious, even took pictures of him. None of the concerns, though, had a chance of reaching decision makers before Trump took the stage because of what these men and women described as failures of planning and communication.
We were supposed to get a face-to-face briefing with the Secret Service snipers whenever they arrived, and that never happened. So I think that was probably a pivotal point where I started thinking things were wrong because that never happened, and we had no communication with the Secret Service.
You had no communication with the Secret Service at all on that Saturday?
Not until after the shooting.
And by then?
It was too late.
Not until after the shooting.
It's insane to think about how that happens when you, and we've both covered our fair share of presidential events and how far out it's like, hey, this is what's going to happen and we're preparing for it now. And to think that you wouldn't have any contact until after the shots have already been fired. It's unconscionable.
No doubt more questions will be asked tomorrow. There is another hearing. A Senate Judiciary and Homeland and Government Affairs Committee will hold a hearing. They will chat with the FBI Deputy Director, also the acting Secret Service Director. Of course, as you know, Kimberly Cheatle, the former Secret Service Director, is no more, so she won't be there, but the acting will be there. So more questions than answers still as they try to learn more about what happened on that Saturday earlier this month. Meanwhile, good news, we do have one of the victims that was hit, one of the spectators injured in that shooting at that Trump rally, is now out of the hospital. 6:57 here on Wisconsin's Morning News. Vince is back tomorrow. Erik Bilstad along with Adam Roberts. Debbie Laska's got your roads. Thanks to Tiff Pua, our news director, for coming in. She's handling some newsroom duties. And, of course, Greg Pancake Hill is on sports and on production and on keeping us on track and on answering the phones and on all the other stuff. Much more to get to coming up here at the top of the hour. We'll be in the headlines in 3 minutes.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Milwaukee Brewing and Distilling Co's tap room sets opening date. The new tap room at 2335 South Kinnickinnick Avenue will begin its soft opening August 2nd. A grand opening celebration is expected August 17th. JetBlue Airways is suspending its nonstop service between Milwaukee and Boston's Logan International Airport this winter. The suspension will begin October 27th and flights will resume April 30th. Both of JetBlue's nonstop routes out of Milwaukee will now be suspended this winter. A new wing zone to open by the end of the month. The restaurant at 6707 West North Avenue in Wauwatosa will open on July 30th. This is the second of 4 locations planned in the area after the first opened at 138 East Capitol Drive in May. I'm Logan Hance with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
This report's sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
Have you heard the buzz? I'm not talking about the latest tabloid gossip. I'm referring to the buzz from the wires that feed your home's electrical power. That's the most important buzz of all. But when you don't hear the buzz, you're left powerless. Talk about a buzzkill. But I have some good buzz to share. Mr. Howland's Home Services can install a brand new, whole house backup generator directly into your electrical system. So if Mother Nature goes on a rampage, or if the grid has gridlock, you could still keep the lights lit, the fridges fridging, Wi-Fiing, and your busy day buzzing. All because you listen to the good buzz about Mr. Howland's whole house generators. Don't wait until the buzz dies down. Keep the lights on and give Mr. Howland's Home Services a buzz today. Call 866-992-1717 or buzz on over to MrHowlandsHomeservices.com. If you want to stay buzzed, we can help.
Market volatility, global issues, inflation, still. More than a few headwinds this year. That's probably why Americans feel uncertain about their financial futures. Boomers, not much room for error. Gen X might need more than a 401k. And for millennials, it's time to get real about saving and investing. Talk to Annex Wealth Management. Build security with a partner on your side for unbiased advice. You may need more than investments. That's why Annex delivers tax and estate planning. There's an Annex plan personalized for you. Click the Get Started button at AnnexWealth.com.
With hail and high winds experienced this year in South Milwaukee, Oak Creek, and surrounding areas, Ridgetop Exteriors has been hard at work helping the community get their homes repaired. If you've experienced damage to your home, you need a local and trusted contractor. Ridgetop Exteriors' expert team specializes in navigating the insurance process so your repairs can get done. And they're happy to come out anytime for a free damage inspection. Schedule your free inspection today at ridgetopexteriors.com. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. ridgetopexteriors.com.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests. You won't find a braver team than this crew.
And the first pitch to him is lined out towards left. Coming over is Churio. Diving catch. And this ball game is in the books.
The Brewers take on the Braves at American Family Field. Our coverage starts tonight at 6 with Brewers warm-up. On your home for the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 7 o'clock. I'm Erik Bilstad. This is Wisconsin's Morning News from Monday, July 29th. Our top story, a bold plan for Supreme Court reforms.
I'm Adam Roberts, judging the success of Harley Homecoming.
I'm Debbie Laziga. We still have a report of an accident northbound 94 just north of Highway 50 off on the right shoulder. Other than that, just your usual backups on the bypass between about Loomis and Forest Home. So keep that in mind through that construction zone. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cloudy and humid today. There is a chance for some showers and storms later on around midday. A high of 81. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 71. It's going to be humid for most of the week. Right now in Milwaukee, 73 at 7:01. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Biden is calling for major reforms to the Supreme Court, including 18-year term limits for the justices and a binding code of conduct and ethics rules. In an op-ed published in the Washington Post this morning, the commander-in-chief also pushing for a constitutional amendment to strip presidents of immunity from prosecution.
President Biden starts his op-ed in the Washington Post by writing that this nation was founded on a simple yet profound principle, quote, no one is above the law, not the president of the United States, not a justice on the Supreme Court of the United States, no one. But he says the court's 6-3 ruling earlier this month that former President Donald Trump was entitled to some immunity and that former presidents had absolute immunity for core official acts means there are, quote, virtually no limits on what a president can do. The president writing, quote, the only limits will be those that are self-imposed by the person occupying the Oval Office. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Back at home, one person dead after a shooting on Milwaukee's north side late Sunday near 86th and Good Hope. Dying on the scene, police seeking unknown suspects.
5 teenagers are recovering after an early morning shooting.
Milwaukee police say the quintuple shooting happened near 92nd and Silver Spring at around 5 Sunday morning. An 18-year-old, a 17-year-old, 2 16-year-olds, and a 15-year-old all suffering non-fatal injuries. All 5 teens arrived at local hospitals to seek treatment of their gunshot wounds.
This comes just a week after a 17-year-old girl was shot and killed, with 9 others injured at a party in Milwaukee's Deneen Park, in another gathering of young people turned violent. MPD says nobody is in custody and they're investigating what led up to the shooting. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Suspects are still on the loose after an assault over the weekend in Random Lake up in Sheboygan County, which officials say took place during the Random Lake picnic at the Random Lake Fire Department Saturday. Department currently looking for at least 3 suspects.
Good week for Harley Davidson, both at the lakefront and in the pocketbook. The Milwaukee Business Journal's Rich Kirchen tells WTMJ he believes the transition of Harley Homecoming to an annual event is part of the company's effort to build brand loyalty.
It's about building on that connection that the company has with its riders. You know, if they're willing to ride here from hundreds or thousands of miles away and spend some time, visiting the museum, hanging out with each other, going to the dealerships, it's sort of the ultimate way of connecting with your customers.
Rich says the company also beat expectations with its earnings for the last quarter.
Helping to keep the community fed, Sherman Park Groceries celebrating its 2-year anniversary by tackling food insecurity with a grocery giveaway this past Saturday. Shop owner Maurice Wins telling TMJ4 News.
Most of our customers are below the poverty line and they shop, in fact, with their Quest and or WIC benefits. And at our cash registers, we've noticed those individuals removing the items from their grocery cart.
In total, the grocer giving away $10,000 worth of grocery gift cards.
Coming up, dogs can sense it and dogs can smell it.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:04.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Your home's defense is crucial. Defensive failure is offensive to you. Siding Unlimited is your home's best defensive coach. Windows, roofing, decks, and of course, siding. Siding Unlimited is it. Windows? Siding Unlimited handles several great brands. They are one of only 5 Pella Platinum Premium installers in the whole country. The only one around here. Doors and decks, roofing, siding. Yes, 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 and yes. Nobody can beat Siding Unlimited. When you deal with Siding Unlimited, you'll get honest pricing, guaranteed. What is that? Well, no gimmicks, none of that BOGO, buy one now, get blah, 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 chin boogie. This is what it will cost you, period. Honest pricing. Bolster your home's defense with the best defensive team ever. SidingUnlimited.com.
When you're at State Fair this year, be sure to check out the Bank 5-9 Amphitheater, State Fair's largest free entertainment venue, featuring acts like Here Come the Mummies, Gaelic Storm, and Pat McCurdy. Bank 5-9 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they've served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Bank 5-9 between August 1st and 11. Member FDIC.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
After a crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. At Gruber Law Offices, we have the knowledge and experience to make sure you're protected. And we're here to help whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
A familiar face returns to American Family Field, and I'm not talking about Ryan Braun. That story at 7:15.
Emergency landing of 2 planes in Dodge County Sunday morning. Law enforcement near the area of Rosh Hill Road and County Highway TW, that's the town of Hubbard. 2 planes in a farm field. A 28-year-old pilot from Georgia. He tells officers he lost power to his single-engine aircraft, making an emergency landing. The second plane had been traveling with them on their way back to Georgia from EAA AirVenture in Oshkosh. Neither pilot was injured in the landing.
Speaking of Ryan Braun, Brewers legend returned for an honor at AmFam. He teased fans with the possibility of coming out of retirement. But he took the field Sunday not to play, but to give a speech at his induction into the Brewers Walk of Fame.
While this is an individual honor, baseball is the ultimate team sport,
and none of my success would be possible without an incredible group of family, friends, teammates, coaches, support staff, and all of you incredible fans.
Braun is the 23rd individual to receive the honor.
Just one more reason for dog lovers to call their pets their best friend.
Stressed out? You don't have to explain to your dog. She can smell it and respond in kind. A study in Scientific Reports finds dogs' super scent skills tip them off to when you're feeling the pressure, and it brings their mood down too. Lead researcher Zoe Parcortez at the University of Bristol's Veterinary School calls it an emotional contagion between pets and their owners, thanks to thousands of years of companionship and evolution. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
It checks out for me. My dog Nico at home always seems to be able to tell. And as we're planning for a wedding, that's a stressful event. And it makes sense now why she's always licking my feet. It's not because she's trying to taste me out. She's just trying to comfort me and say, stop being so stressed, Adam.
Interesting. Licks your feet.
Yes, she does.
You trained her to do that, huh?
Oh, no, that was all just naturally occurring.
7:09.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Still questioning that Bryant's decision for being one of the best bars of the year by USA Today, Debbie.
We need to know what the criteria is.
And I'm not anti-Bryant's. Great place.
No.
Lovely.
It just seems strange that this is the year. USA Today says it's the bar of the year.
Right, yeah. It's just interesting.
Good for Bryant's. How are the roads?
Well, we got westbound on 894 backing up just a bit from just west of Loomis all the way to Forest Home. The rest of the system is actually looking pretty good. East and westbound 94 pretty clear right now. 41's looking pretty good from Appleton Avenue all the way down into the Zoo Interchange, so no problems there either. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. More clouds than sunshine for today. We'll keep our temperatures down in the upper 70s and lower 80s, along with the chance for some scattered showers and storms. For tonight, partly cloudy skies, some patchy fog late, low temperatures in the 70s. The heat and humidity really builds in for Tuesday. High temperatures in the upper 80s, mostly sunny skies, and a small chance for an afternoon shower or storm. High temperatures stay in the upper 80s for Wednesday with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Thursday, also pretty good rain chances with high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Friday, our rain chances start to come down a bit. High temperatures in the mid-80s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now, 73 degrees at 7-Eleven.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. In for Vince Petrano, here's Erik Bilstad.
Vince is back tomorrow. Adam Roberts in studio. Debbie Laska's got your roads. Tiff Pua is handling the newsroom today. And Greg Pancake Hill doing everything else. One of the biggest concerns when the Hamas attack on Israel back on October 7th first occurred was, how would this escalate? What could happen next? Where would it go from that vantage point? And obviously there's been a lot of discussion and arguments and protests and demonstrations since then. Now, though, renewed fears that the Israeli-Hamas war will spark a wider conflict thanks to Hezbollah. So Hezbollah shot a rocket into the northern portion of Israel over the weekend, killing 12 kids. Here's exactly what happened. ABC's Jordana Miller.
Hezbollah, which has been firing on northern Israel for months, including the Golan Heights, where there are some of the most important IDF bases. It appears that Hezbollah rocket, that they misfired one of these, and it slammed into a soccer field Saturday afternoon where a bunch of children and teenagers were just playing soccer.
Yeah, so 12 children at least were killed, children and or teenagers, and it was a misfire, so it wasn't intended. And now both sides are trying to figure out how to respond to this. Israel clearly upset about it, but at the same time isn't quite sure how to respond. And Hezbollah also says, hey, just a mistake, just an accident. We've been firing rockets, but we understand that you might be upset, and, Lebanon doesn't want any issues here. So where does it go from here, Jordana?
The prime minister cut his trip short in the United States, came back earlier. But at the same time, Israel is not interested in hitting so hard that we will see this escalate into a regional war, a declared war between Israel and Hezbollah. Hezbollah as well has signaled it is not interested in a war.
It's ABC's Jordana Miller. Now, we do have in this hour from the BBC and other outlets that the security cabinet for Israel is giving authority to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the defense minister of the nation to decide when and how to retaliate. Yep. They've given them clearance. And of course, Netanyahu just recently in the U.S. speaking to Congress, meeting with President Biden and Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, all seem to be at that point on the same page about how they want to go forward, especially with the hostage releases. But this new wrinkle could potentially throw all that out the window.
And there has been an Israeli strike in southern Lebanon early this morning that was deadly. A couple of people were killed in that attack. But as of now, that's not considered to be Israel's response to what happened over the weekend. It is 7:15 sports in 60 seconds. This portion of the show is sponsored by Holiday Automotive at Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Hey, Wisconsin, WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac. Hey, go where summer leads you and drive inspired year-round in the new Mazda or Mazda-certified pre-owned model that's right for you. Connect with Holiday for their low, simplified price, more for your trade, then stack that savings with the season's best offers to lower your bottom line in payment. Score generous customer cash on many, or well-qualified buyers can lock in finance rates as low as 0% on favorites, like the invigorating Mazda 3 hatchback, Mazda CX-5 or CX-30, the rugged and refined Mazda CX-50, or the roomy and responsive 3-row Mazda CX-90. Which Mazda's right for you? Treat yourself to a test drive and find out. Team Holiday's fun, simple, and pressure-free buying approach and genuine guest care makes fans of drivers from all over Wisconsin. I'm one of those fans and confident you will be too. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and online at holidaymazda.com. Holiday Mazda. It's worth the trip.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Now, time for a sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Greg Hill.
Yeah, it was the Brewers who avoided a sweep at the hands of the Marlins Sunday afternoon. An all-around effort for the crew to take this one. Now, we know Yelich on the 10-day IL, but as one window closes, another door opens because Devin Williams is back from his 60-day IL stint.
Here's the stretch from Devin in the pitch. Struck him out with a fastball. 3 straight heaters, Wall gone, 2 away. That was vintage Devin Williams in that sequence, the Wall.
Yeah, good to see Airbender back on the hill. Fastball has a little more velocity, too, as Adam McCalvey pointed out, which is pretty great. All the ingredients to help the Brewers take home the win 6-2 over the Marlins. Now, again, not the best weekend, but what about a pep talk from Coach Pat Murphy?
I just want them to understand how great they are, and how they can bounce back and not to get down on themselves. Wash it off. It might be hard sometimes.
You got to do it.
But you got to do it. Discipline, right? Doing what you're supposed to do.
What you're supposed to do, whether you like it or not.
Might be hard sometimes.
But you got to do it.
Right. Worry.
There's always the time.
Brainwashing.
So I'm now adding that. I'm adding that to my self-affirmations every morning because if Pat can get that going with the kiddos. The locker room is obviously bought into, and it turns out well. So that's good managing right there. Next up for the Crew, 3-game set against the Braves here at home.
By the way, we should also point out that trade over the weekend, Nick Mears, the reliever they traded for. We'll get the lowdown on him from Dom coming up at 7:45.
Good call. More help in the bullpen, something that we can all get behind. Our coverage starts right here on WTMJ at 6 with Brewers warm-up. By the way, Dom Catronu hosting Brewers warm-up this evening. Colin Ray on the hill tonight. On to the gridiron. It's a sigh of relief from Packers fans. Here's what it sounded like. Yeah, Jordan Love locked in for the next 4 years. 4 years, $220 million contract extension brings Love in the green and gold for the foreseeable future. No practice for the Packers today. They resume tomorrow, but Jason Wilde joins us in just about a half hour from now. And finally, an Olympics update. Medal count, USA 3 golds, to which Erik Bilstad said, that's it? earlier this morning, which I love it. I love the posturizing of USA should be winning everything. Honestly, Simone Biles could win every gold for the rest of her life. She would not be having a better Olympics than Snoop Dogg. Here's Snoop on the highlight call of the badminton match between USA and Canada.
Back and forth. Give me that. No, I need that. No, over here. No, over there. What about over there? No, what about there? No, give me that. I need that. That too. No, sit down somewhere. Get down. Wait a minute. Hold it way up in the sky. Now down. Back up. Over there. Now over here. Get out the way. Move. I told you we need that. That was a good point.
You don't even need the visual. You don't need it. You know exactly what's happening, and that's the beauty between a good play-by-play man.
It's so funny watching Tirico while he's putting the jacket on, just having to sit there and basically be mesmerized at the wall. I'm being out-coached here a little bit.
Take notes, Mike. Snoop Dogg's in the booth.
You know what? Love me some Snoop. Love all the Brewers stuff. But anyone get the little Snoop fatigue?
Oh, he's owning it. This is it. For the next 14-odd days, it's going to be Snoop Dogg at the Olympics. I can't wait.
The week ahead is next.
Southeast Wisconsin takes pride in our traditions.
Lakefront festivals.
Neighborhood festivals.
The best beer and brats.
Cheering on our teams.
The rich tradition of jewelry in Southeast Wisconsin has embodied Rasmussen diamonds since 1900.
To prepare for the epic 125-year anniversary at Rasmussen Diamonds, half the store will be 50% off.
It includes wedding bands, fashion jewelry, even some engagement rings, and more.
Don't miss the 50/50 sale, 2 days only.
August 2nd and 3rd at Rasmussen Diamonds in Racine.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. Do you wake up every day raring to go? Or do you dread waking up and worrying about if you are going to make payroll, how to pay your vendors, where to find customers, and how to collect the cash you are owed? Do you know how much cash you need to run your business? Are your books current and up to date to give you that information? If you answered no to any of these questions, we can help. We work with clients to develop systems and procedures to improve their business and give them the information they need to know where their business is now and where it is going in the future. Where do you want to be in 1, 3, or 5 years? Out of debt? Retired? Not working 60 hours a week? Don't wait. Start on the path to less stress, more cash in your pocket, and no more sleepless nights. Visit nealgroup.net today to book a meeting. We can talk over Zoom, the phone, in our office, or your place of business. Yes, we make house calls. Don't wait any longer. Visit nealgroup.net. That's NEAL group.net.
Ridiculous fees, robocalls, customer service that's lacking the actual service. It sounds like you might be getting bullied by your bank. You don't have to settle. At Wintrust, we take a different approach. Whether you need banking solutions, a new home, or help planning your financial future, Wintrust has local experts ready to lend a hand. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results, and start banking where you matter at wintrust.com/no-bully. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp. Banks, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Sendik's limited time Hatch Pepper event is back. Order your fresh or roasted Hatch peppers now at sendix.com/hatch.
Traffic sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Hey, Debbie, how'd the dogs handle the planes flying overhead over the weekend?
If it weren't for me, they probably would have never even noticed it. I bolt out of the chair and run over to try and see if I can see it. Run out the door to see if I can look, and they're like, what's going on? What? Other than that, they would have been like, nothing. They're good. I mean, I lucked out. These two are great with that and fireworks, too.
It's like when a toddler hurts themselves, and if you react, then they react.
Exactly.
How are the roads?
We are looking pretty good right now. Just a little bit backed up between Loomis and 68th Street through the construction zone on the bypass. Southbound 43 starting to tighten up just a little bit right past Capitol Drive. Westbound 94 slowing from 175 out towards Hawley Road through the Stadium interchange. Other than that, everything else is looking good. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cloudy today and humid. It's going to be humid for just about the entire week, so get ready for that. Midday showers or storms are possible, high of 81. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 71. Tuesday, sunny, hot and humid, 87. Wednesday, hot and humid, 87. Thursday, hot and humid, 86. Friday, hot and humid, 84. And every one of those days, there's a chance for rain, maybe even a storm. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 73 degrees at 7:23.
Happy Monday!
It's time to look at the week ahead.
What a Monday morning.
What's happening this week in Southeast Wisconsin and across the world? What's going to be in your timeline, your news feed, on the televisions, online, or on the radio right here at WTMJ? We'll start in Austin, Texas, Adam. President Biden heads to Austin today to commemorate the 60th anniversary of the Civil Rights Act. He's going to visit the LBJ Presidential Library. LBJ is the one that signed that into law 60 years ago. The president also making news, announcing today some changes that he is proposing to the Supreme Court. He wants term limits. So you hear much more about term limits for the Supreme Court throughout the day today. Iowa's strict abortion law goes into effect, preventing most abortions after about 6 weeks of pregnancy, or before many women would even know they are pregnant. It passed last year, but it's been going through the courts. On Tuesday, the Senate Judiciary and Homeland and Government Affairs Committee is going to hold a joint hearing on the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump from earlier this month. So on the stand, if you will, FBI Deputy Director Paul Abate and the acting Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe.
And I wonder what role the recent news that we just heard about the SWAT team not being informed until after the shooting, how much that will come up during the trial.
Local SWAT team tells ABC's Good Morning America that, they didn't even talk to the Secret Service until after the shooting occurred, which just seems a little odd. The House also voted last week to create a bipartisan task force to investigate that shooting. A decision could come Tuesday on who will be the next police chief of Austin, Texas. Why does this matter to you? Because one of the finalists is Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman.
And he seems like, just reading between the lines, the other candidate is an assistant chief from Cincinnati. So in terms of apples to apples, it would seem to be a pretty smooth transition.
Major League Baseball's trade deadline Tuesday at 5 p.m. Bud Selig turns 90 years old tomorrow. 90 years young for Bud. On Wednesday, Cream Puffapalooza.
Oh boy.
WTMJ's very own Cream Puffapalooza. So there'll be, we have someone out there, right? Is it Sandy? Who's out there? Sandy, Max, Greg, is that right? Sorry to just put you on the spot. But yes, we do have, we'll have people out there helping give away the cream puffs. And of course, the State Fair kicks off on Thursday.
That's hand in hand, a big opportunity for everyone to go out, take in the latest foods. Of course, the Sporkies. Keeping an eye on. I think Debbie and I are planning on tackling some of those this year.
Nice.
A little bit of an upgrade from eating bugs like I did last year.
Okay, so no bugs, but other things on a stick.
Yep.
Okay.
If you can put it on a stick and it's not a creepy crawly, I'll probably have it this year.
Also on Thursday, everyone's talking sandhill cranes. The talk of a legislative study committee. They're going to actually meet at the Horicon Marsh and hold it in the visitor center there. I've been there, actually.
Me as well.
It's nice. They want to talk about the population of these birds and whether or not they need to cull the herd, if you will, at times, because they can cause some issues. We have them walk through our yard. It's kind of nice.
It's crazy to think. I remember growing up how they were on the verge of maybe not being extinct, but almost. And now we're reaching the point where we got to bring them back a little bit. It's pretty crazy.
The voting process to officially name Vice President Kamala Harris as the presidential nominee for the Democrats will begin Thursday. Also, if you need a break from Olympics, we have football on Thursday night.
Football.
Texans, Bears. It's the Pro Football Hall of Fame game Thursday night on ESPN or ABC. At the movies.
I can't get away. I can't stop. I'll just do this one last one. Enjoy the rest of the concert.
Yeah, Trap. This is an M. Night Shyamalan feature. So basically, Josh Hartnett plays a dad who's at like a Britney Spears or a Taylor Swift-like concert with his daughter, and cops surround the place, and we find out that Josh Hartnett is a serial killer trying to get out of there. So it's got a lot of twists and turns. Trap opens on Friday. That is the week ahead. Time now for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. As of now, stock futures looking good. The Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ all good 1 hour from the bell. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and folks who live here. Sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining us today, Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations.
Hi, Vince. Great to be here.
So last time, Jeff, we were talking about insurance programs that have gaps or they're not properly designed and how that can trigger a devastating financial loss for a business. You called that balance sheet events. What are some of the common mistakes you see businesses making?
Vince, contracts are a big concern. Just the other day, we were with a new prospective client, and the owners were concerned they had issues with the contracts they were signing and the contracts that they were using. It's important to understand what those contracts are attempting to do.
Tell me a little bit more about that. What kind of contracts?
Vince, we look at vendor contracts, lease agreements for equipment, and lease agreements for property. Many times, these contracts are trying to shift responsibilities and liabilities to your organization for certain events. Most contracts also include an insurance requirements clause. Many times, we identify where businesses are out of compliance. It's a big issue. The contract requires X, the business has Y. You're out of compliance.
Jeff, what else have you been discovering?
Another coverage that's frequently misunderstood and frequently improperly calculated is business income and extra expense insurance. The limits are too low, the duration's too short, and there's no dependent property coverage.
Sounds like if you're not working with the right team of insurance professionals, it can cost you. So why should a business work with R&R Insurance?
Because R&R Insurance can take these balance sheet events off the table and give business owners peace of mind. If you're looking for a better insurance purchasing experience, we'd love to speak with you. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff. More information at myknowledgebroker.com.
7:30, I'm Erik Bilstad. This is Wisconsin's Morning News from Monday, July 29th. Our top story, a mass shooting leaves teenagers injured.
I'm Adam Roberts. A hopeful gathering at American Family Field.
I'm Debbie Lazago, westbound 94, slowing down from 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Westbound 894 as usual, Loomis to 68th. As your WTMJ, Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Hot and humid with rain just about every day this week. It's 7:30.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. First, it was the trains. Now IT systems have been the target of vandalism around France during the Olympic Games. Multiple telecommunications links have been hit, affecting fiber optics and fixed and mobile phone lines. The park fire in Northern California burning through 5,000 acres an hour. It has grown to be the biggest in the state of California. President Biden proposing 3 significant reforms to the U.S. Supreme Court, including, says ABC's Stephen Portnoy, new ethics rules.
The president is urging Congress to pass binding, enforceable ethics and conduct rules that would have the justices disclosing gifts and recusing themselves from cases in which they or their spouses have conflicts of interest.
Another proposal, term limits of 18 months for the justices, and a constitutional amendment that would state that no former president is immune from criminal prosecution after leaving office. The presidential election is now less than 100 days away. Donald Trump and Kamala Harris were both out on the campaign trail over the weekend. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 5 teenagers are recovering after a shooting early in the morning over the weekend. Milwaukee police say this happened near 92nd and Silver Spring around 5 a.m. on Sunday. An 18-year-old, a 17-year-old, 2 16-year-olds, and a 15-year-old all suffering non-fatal injuries. All 5 showed up at the hospital for treatment afterwards. This comes just a week after a 17-year-old girl was shot and killed with 9 others injured. This at a quote-unquote car party at Milwaukee's Deneen Park. Milwaukee police say nobody is in custody. They're investigating what led up to this shooting.
Meanwhile, suspects remain on the loose after a weekend assault in Random Lake up in Sheboygan County that took place during the Random Lake picnic at Random Lake's fire department late on Saturday. Sheriff's Department looking for at least 3 suspects.
Another commissioner leaves the Social Development Commission board, the 4th since operations were suspended in April. Serena Chavez was elected to represent SDC's District 5 and served as the board's secretary. The all-volunteer board has met frequently since the spring to work on a plan to reopen the SDC and its services. The agency reported a misallocation of funds earlier this year before firing its finance director, and then had CEO George Hinton resign at the board's request.
The largest gathering of survivors of pancreatic cancer coming later this year to American Family Field this weekend, in fact. Former Brewers medical director and cancer survivor Roger Kaplinger tells Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News it is the culmination of a weekend of raising awareness about the disease, and they're only building it as they go.
Well, last year we took a picture of all the survivors, and there was 80 of us in one room, the most ever. And this year we're shooting for 120. And that's because the survival rates of pancreatic cancer, especially here at the Medical College of Wisconsin, are increasing. Those survival rates are almost triple the national average.
The Pancreatic Cancer Event, Conference, and Symposium happening at American Family Field this weekend.
Pretty neat moment occurring Sunday at AmFam Field. Ryan Braun inducted into the team's Walk of Fame. Took to the field one more time to thank everyone who supported him in his career, especially the fans.
Thank you for packing the ballpark night in and night out throughout my career. Thank you for the encouragement, support, and motivation. Thank you for inspiring me to be at my best when it mattered most.
He also joked about coming out of retirement and playing for the Crew. No, he's not doing that. Braun spent all 14 seasons of his career here in Milwaukee.
Coming up, more on the latest act by saboteurs in Paris.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 7:34. Traffic sponsored by 2 Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at 2menandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
If you're feeling vibrations in your steering wheel after reaching speeds of over 50 miles per hour, you should bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
If your brakes are making weird noises or feel strange every time you apply them, you should bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
If your engine light is on, you should bring it to Richlands.
And let us fix it for you, because there isn't an auto service repair job on the planet that our service techs can't fix.
Courtney's right. Just check out some of our Google reviews. A whole lot of stars means a whole lot of happy customers.
Proof's in the pudding. So whether you need factory scheduled maintenance
or tires, brakes, and suspension service, we've got your back.
5 conveniently located facilities, all AAA approved,
and all staffed by ASE certified technicians. I'm Brett Matschke, and the next time you're due for service,
bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Everybody knows if it's summer season, it's festival season. And Potawatomi has the winningest one, WinFest. You could make it an awesome August with a share of $500,000. Play with your rewards card for entries. Hourly drawings every Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. $25,000 in cash and prizes each drawing. It's the $500,000 WinFest. Get in on the fun. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. More info at pacebig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
When you're at State Fair this year, be sure to check out the Bank 5-9 Amphitheater, State Fair's largest free entertainment venue, featuring acts like Here Come the Mummies, Gaelic Storm, and Pat McCurdy. Bank 5-9 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they've served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Bank 5-9 between August 1st and 11. Member FDIC.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
The Brewers make a trade over the weekend. We break it down with Dom Catronio and Brewers 360 at 7:45.
The Summer Olympics roll on in France, and once again, the nation dealing with acts by saboteurs, it appears. Of course, it was first the trains last Friday, and now IT systems appear to be the target of vandalism around the French nation.
According to the French government, multiple telecommunications links have been hit, affecting fiber and fixed and mobile phone lines around the country. A police official says at least a half dozen of France's administrative departments have been affected, including the region around the Mediterranean city of Marseille, hosting Olympic soccer and sailing competitions. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
Eric, we had ABC's Inezla Katera earlier this morning, and her reporting at around 6:20 our time was that it still remains unclear just what the wide-ranging impact of this will be. Of course, the train incidents, the arson attacks, were hours before the opening ceremonies were supposed to be had on Friday for the Olympics, and now appears as though, at least at the moment, we're analyzing how big of an impact this could have.
And what it is exactly. What is this vandalism being done for? What's the motivation? Is it just to disrupt and cause chaos, or is it something else? Just seems, this is odd now. We've had this twice now, but there was an arrest in the train situation.
Correct. Yeah, I believe ABC was reporting it was an ultra activist arrested over the weekend at a rail company site.
7:38. This portion of the show is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk, heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ.
Market volatility, global issues. We hear about inflation easing, but it's still a real issue. More than a few headwinds this year. That's probably why Americans like you feel uncertain about their financial future. Just 59% of affluent Americans felt secure last year, and that's down from the year before. Boomers, not much room for error. Gen X might need more than a 401k. And for millennial families with big dreams, it's time to get real about saving and investing. Talk to Annex Wealth Management. Build security with a partner on your side for unbiased advice. Our goal is a plan that prepares you to maintain your desired lifestyle throughout retirement. Investments are a start, but you may need more. That's why Annex delivers tax and estate planning. There's an Annex plan personalized for you. Annex Comprehensive Wealth fits most individuals and families, but if you've got high net worth with complex needs, Annex Private Client is your solution. Just starting out? Annex Ignite is a great choice. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. I absolutely love Wisconsin this time of year. It's absolutely heaven, especially on a lake, especially after a swim perhaps, or maybe even water skiing. But again, you know how that goes. You do something like that, then the joint pain really starts to act up. The knees really start to bark. And you know you want to take care of it, but you don't want surgery. Well, there is another way. QC Kinetics. There's exciting new cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief in your joints, and the place to go is QC Kinetics, using cutting-edge treatments, but no surgery, no drugs, and here's the best part, no downtime. You can get right back to work the day of your treatment. Call QC Kinetics today and find out what they can do for you. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. This is the future of medicine. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation, 414-285-3474. I mean, Wolski's.
Yeah.
That could be bar of the year.
True.
Foundation, sleeper pick.
And I should point out, I found it very good. I like Brian's. I'm just curious.
Great cozy place for a date. Right in a residential neighborhood, you never even know it was a bar.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. All right, well, southbound 43, we've got some backups from Hampton Avenue all the way down past Locust. Westbound on 94 is backing up a bit from about 25th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange to Hawley Road. Eastbound starting to slow down, too, from just east of 76th Street all the way through the Stadium. And westbound 894 is slow from 27th Street to 68th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. More clouds than sunshine for today. The chance for some scattered showers and storms. It will be humid for today with high temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. The chance for some patchy fog developing late. Low temperatures in the 70s. On Tuesday, temperatures get warmer, mid to upper 80s. Mostly sunny skies. Heat and humidity continues with a small chance for an afternoon shower or storm. Wednesday, temperatures stay elevated in the upper 80s. We'll look at scattered showers and storms possible. Same thing for Thursday. High temperatures well into the 80s with a chance for showers and storms. Friday, rain chances start to come down a bit with high temperatures in the mid-80s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now in Milwaukee, 73 degrees at 741. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says Bryant's was selected as one of USA Today's Bars of the Year for its reputation as one of the oldest cocktail lounges in Milwaukee and its unique menu-less ordering system. All of that is true. I'm happy for Bryant's. It's fine. I was just saying, there are a lot of different dives and a lot of different high-end cocktail places you could pick, and
I'd almost rather see a USA Today article about just the top 10 in our city alone. Because like Debbie, you said earlier, you could choose from just about any of them, and it could be a top 5 just for our city that goes nationwide. I mean, there's so many just sleeper picks. Like I mentioned Foundation, one of the best tiki bars I've ever been to in my life, and it's just nestled right off of Center and Fratney.
It's one of the many. So anyway, congratulations to Brian. Happy for Brian's. Hey, one of the stories you're going to hear a lot about today, President Biden just wrote an op-ed that's in the Washington Post this morning. He's proposing 3 significant reforms of the U.S. Supreme Court. He's calling for these reforms that would include 18-year term limits for the justices and a binding code of conduct and ethics rules. So he wants more conduct rules for the justices and also wants them done after 18 years. It feels like this would be more appropriate. He's also pushing for a constitutional amendment to strip presidents of immunity from prosecution. He writes that, quote, "This nation was founded on a simple yet profound principle. No one is above the law." And you can expect that he will speak on this when he is in Austin, Texas today. He's going to be at the LBJ Presidential Library today. So no doubt this will come up. We'll see if anything would come of it, but those proposals are now being pushed by the president. Much more detail coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. We'll chat with Thane Rosenbaum. He's one of our legal analysts from CBS. I have a lot of questions for him about this and what remotely is even possible for term limits. You know, there's been a lot of talk about term limits, about age limits for lawmakers and whatnot. So we'll get into that coming up after the 8 o'clock news. 7:44, Brewers 360 with Dom Catronio. Got to ask him lots of questions about some of the trades that were made. We'll get it from Dom next.
Outdoor living is great, but it's best when it's at your own home. Well, there's a company called Outdoor Living Unlimited that will build you a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, all manner of things to enhance outdoor living at your place, even an outdoor kitchen. Get started right away. Contact Outdoor Living Unlimited now. Get your yard project onto Outdoor Living Unlimited's calendar while there's still openings. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Devin Williams returns as the Brewers avoid the sweep. 6-2 the win over the Marlins. Up next, the Braves tonight right here on WTMJ. Brewers 360, sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Joining us on the Tri-County Contracting Hotline is host of Brewers Extra Innings, also doing Brewers warm-up for us tonight.
Busy man.
Dom Catronio. Hello, Dom.
Hello, guys. How we doing?
Hey, got to give you props. I know that Nick Mears, the reliever from the Colorado Rockies, who is now a Milwaukee Brewer, he was on your radar for a potential trade target. You got him. What makes this guy so great?
I got lucky, man. So the comparison I made on Friday when they made the move, or Saturday when they made the move, was, hey, I know some folks may see a 5.5 ERA and be like, come on, why are you so excited about this guy? Well, Jeff Passan, ESPN reporter, put it perfectly when he shared the news. Hey, this may seem like a weird move, but he has a very bloody Baseball Savant page. What we mean by that is Baseball Savant's kind of the advanced stat website that all of us use here in baseball. And when it's red, there's a bunch of sliders that tell you if you're in a higher percentile of all these advanced stats, the darker red it gets. And he called it bloody because it's so red of how elite his stuff is. The problem is he plays for the Colorado Rockies. He's pitching at altitude. It's hard to pitch at altitude. So his stuff should perform better here. He also revealed to us in the media yesterday he had been tipping his pitches in the first half and didn't know it. It was a friend of a friend that let him know that he was kind of showing what he was throwing before he actually threw it. So no one in the organization had caught it, and that's part of the reason why it's such an inflated ERA early in the year.
But you definitely caught. I saw you got retweeted by Flamin' Hot Takes. That's got to be a nice tip of the cap to you for calling this one out early.
I mean, sometimes you get it right. You throw enough things at a wall, you get one. I talked to
Blind
Matt Arnold,
squirrel.
actually. I talked to Matt Arnold about it, actually, yesterday before the Ryan Braun ceremony. I was like, thanks for making me look smart. He's like, no, you're doing the good work for us, making us look smart, given you're on something like that. So it was a really cool weekend.
So what do we think? Deadline is tomorrow afternoon-ish, like 5 p.m. tomorrow. Are we done, you think?
I don't think they're done. I know, talking to Matt, talking to some other people around the industry, the price right now for starting pitching is still ridiculous. And basically, everyone is sort of anticipating this being a wacky up to the midnight oil kind of trade deadline, right up to 5 o'clock. Now, we can hear moves that happen after that. Just the official paperwork has to be sent into the league office by that time. So I could still see the Brewers adding a rental starting pitcher. I don't think they're going to get a bat. I just don't see room on the roster, nor is there enough out there to grab.
Did anyone else in the division do anything, like the Cardinals or the Cubs or anybody?
The Cubs made a move yesterday that was very interesting. They traded Christopher Morel, their third baseman who swings hard. He was their leading home run hitter, to the Rays for Isaac Paredes, who's a good hitter, don't get me wrong. But the Cubs also sent 2 prospects over to the Rays. And the joke in baseball is like, before you even hear the details, it's like, the Rays made a trade. Oh, I love this trade for the Rays. Who did they get? It's just, the Rays always win these things, and time will tell. But Isaac Paredes has multiple years of control, but the Cubs sent 3 players to Tampa. So everyone's like, wait, why would you do that? But otherwise, you're right. The Pirates haven't done anything to help their offense. The Cardinals haven't done anything to help their bullpen or their starting rotation or their offense. It's going to kind of hold with bated breath these next 48 hours or so.
Hey, Dom, real quick before we let you go, Ryan Braun, of course, memorialized into the Brewers Walk of Fame over the weekend. One of my favorite quotes was from former GM Doug Melvin, who said, it's paraphrasing, but essentially he'll sometimes on the evenings just put out a whiskey, put on Braun's YouTube highlights, and quote, "I'm drunk at the end of the night." Is that a good way to spend a weekend, is just having a few whiskeys and watching Braun highlights?
There's so much to go through, right? Doug Melvin was great. Known Doug a very long time. I also love the line. It was a story told, I believe, by Billy Hall, and Billy told the story that when Ryan Braun arrived for his signing day, when he was drafted, and you do all the pomp and circumstance, and you get to go hit batting practice on the field with the guys, he goes up to Carlos Lee in 2005. He's like, "Don't worry, buddy, you're gonna have protection in this lineup pretty soon." And little did we know, 2 years later, Rookie of the Year shows up.
Dom Catronio, he'll be on at 6 o'clock tonight before the Brewers game. Thanks, Dom.
Thank you, guys.
7:50.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tosher here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family-owned business for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off and 0% interest for 12 months on your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. When you have over 20 HVAC techs working with you that each have over 20 years of experience, it gives you confidence to be able to go out there and talk reliability, integrity, value, all the things that matter when you hire someone to get the job done right the first time. These words mean everything to us, and we know they mean a lot to you. And that's what you'll get when you hire the man in the red van.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
Now's when the summer heat is working your AC system into overtime. And after this long, it may be on borrowed time. But some of these systems really can't last, especially Armstrong Air Pro Series systems. When your AC system says its final goodbye, think of the man in the red van and the over 60 years of experience that Quality Heating brings to your home. To get your new Armstrong Air Pro Series AC system installed right and right away.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the road. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Jason Wilde was right all along. But
Wow.
first,
Big
traffic and
admission
weather.
there.
How are the roads, Debbie?
Well, we got some backups. We got some slowdowns on southbound 43, just south of Silver Spring, pretty much all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound slowing down at North Avenue up past Keith. Westbound on 94, seeing delays from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's backed up from about 84th Street all the way through the stadium as well to about 35th. And then westbound 894, a little bit heavy coming out of the Mitchell interchange all the way out past 58th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. It's going to be humid all week, and there's a chance for showers just about every day. So just be prepared for one of those muggy weeks. A high of 81 today, a low of 71 tonight. Tuesday, 87, Wednesday, 87, Thursday, 86, Friday, 84, and there's chances for rain every one of those days. Right now, it's 7:53. It's 73 degrees. Mark Tauscher, sponsored by Kohler Services. Mark has been on vacation. Jason Wilde from ESPN Wisconsin joins us. Well, we knew it all along, right, Jason? We knew it all along that Jordan Love was going to eventually sign this deal. I'm curious, though, is there anything that sticks out to you when you look at this 4-year extension? Anything there that either raises your eyebrows or you think helps the team or helps Love, etc.?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of really interesting aspects, Eric, including the interesting aspect that a few days of me filling in for Tausch was enough to break Vinny, and he couldn't take it anymore. And he had to take a day off from me. So I don't blame him for that. So what's interesting here, and we talked about this last week, the guaranteed money is so critical to how we view this. So $220 million overall, but $155 million guaranteed, which is less than Tua Tagovailoa got from the Miami Dolphins. It's less than a bunch of other quarterbacks whose average is not as high as the Packers gave Jordan Love. $55 million ties him with Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence for the highest per year average salary. But that's not really the number. I know that allows the agent to take a victory lap.
Yeah.
Hey, my guy's the highest paid in the league. But he did not get nearly as much guaranteed money. In fact, only Trevor Lawrence had less of all these quarterbacks that got deals. But here's the interesting thing. They gave him a $75 million guaranteed signing bonus. And that is the biggest lump sum signing bonus ever given out in the NFL. So my gut tells me that was the compromise. The agency wants to be able to take a victory lap on some things. They get that. Jordan gets his deal done. He doesn't get as much guaranteed, but he gets a high average. And apparently everybody's happy and ready to get to work.
So then he'll get to re-up, when he's 29 years old? So he gets another kick at perhaps another record-breaking contract in a few years?
Yeah, and again, it'll happen, I think, before that.
Right.
Because if he is as good as they think he is and want him to be, they'll want to keep him. And, Rodgers never got to the last year of his contract. And the Packers, let's be honest, they don't want Jordan Love to get to the last year of this contract. He has a $75 million cap number in the final year of his deal. That is a very big number. They do not want to have to carry that.
ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde with us on Wisconsin's Morning News. All right, Jason, so now that this has been taken care of, it's time to look ahead to the X's and O's for Jordan, as he should be back on the field for training camp. As someone who's analyzed quarterbacks for quite a long time, and we've had quite a few big ones here the last 30 years, what are you watching for as we now head into Jordan Love's 2024 campaign?
Yeah, so he's practiced each of the last 2 days, and as Matt LaFleur admitted, there's been times when he looked rusty. Now, when he was here for those 4 days where he wasn't practicing but he was watching, when he would get done, he would go inside the Don Hudson Center and throw to Tucker Kraft, who's not practicing yet because of the torn pec, threw to Jaden Reed for a few days when Jaden Reed wasn't practicing, and he threw to some equipment guys. So it changes a little bit when you're out there and you're not throwing to the guy that's also like moving the goalpost for the kicking period. But he has shown some rust, and I thought Matt LaFleur made a really good point, which is everybody needs practice. Even if you're one of the rising quarterback stars in the NFL, if you miss practice, you're not going to be as sharp. And so he had an unbelievable throw, a 47-yard deep ball completion to Christian Watson the first day he practiced. But then yesterday he threw a pick six. So it's going to be a process. I don't think anybody's worried about him not being the good quarterback, very good quarterback he was during the second half of last season. But there's going to be some ups and downs after you miss the first 5 days and 4 practices of camp.
And Vince will lose his mind when he hears about that. Of course. Jason, thank you, sir.
All right, guys, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde filling in for Mark Tauscher and doing an amazing job.
Absolutely.
7:57. Time for your business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
JetBlue Airways suspending its nonstop service between Milwaukee and Boston's Logan International Airport this winter. The suspension will begin October 27th and flights will resume April 30th. Both of JetBlue's nonstop routes out of Milwaukee will now be suspended this winter. A new wing zone to open by the end of the month. The restaurant at 6707 West North Avenue in Wauwatosa will open on July 30th. This is the second of 4 locations planned in the area after the first opened at 138 East Capitol Drive in May. Milwaukee Brewing and Distilling Co.'s tap room sets opening date. The new tap room at 2335 South Kinnickinnick Avenue will begin its soft opening August 2nd. A grand opening celebration is expected August 17th. I'm Logan Hansen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
Okay, I'm ready to record my jewelry store's new radio spot. I got a great script that really goes after Diamonds Direct and how they're nothing special and how we can match their price. Great stuff.
Oh, great. We have this new technology that bleeps out any false claims, so it saves us time with editing. So you can start anytime.
Okay, here goes. When you visit our jewelry store, we'll guarantee direct. Our diamonds come straight. We have cutters and... Hey, what the...
The hard truth is that other jewelry stores simply can't do what Diamonds Direct can. Diamonds Direct has special relationship with De Beers, international connections, and virtually unlimited buying power. The result is true direct importer pricing, exceptional quality, and up to 30 times the diamond selection you find at other stores.
I can't believe this thing won't let me say...
Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get more truth at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Now open in Wauwatosa.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
Solving your breathing triangle problem can lead to better sleep and a better quality of life. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment. Because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
8:01, I'm Erik Bilstad. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Monday, July 29th. Our top story, a bold plan for big Supreme Court reform.
I'm Adam Roberts. More technical pains in Paris.
I'm Debbie Laziga, southbound on 43, hitting the brakes right at Silver Spring, and that takes you all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound's going to be slow from just north of Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up almost to Capitol. Westbound 94, a little heavy from about 27th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side is heavy from about 76th Street all the way through to 35th. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cloudy and humid today, a high of 81 with a chance for some midday showers or storms. Tonight, partly cloudy, some patchy fog possible late, a low of 71. Right now, 74 degrees at 8:01. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Biden is proposing 3 significant reforms of the U.S. Supreme Court. The president saying in an op-ed in the Washington Post this morning that these changes would restore trust and accountability to not just the Supreme Court, but also to the presidency.
In an op-ed published today in the Washington Post, President Biden is calling for major reforms to the Supreme Court, including 18-year term limits for the justices and a binding code of conduct and ethics rules. He's also pushing for a constitutional amendment to strip presidents of immunity from prosecution. The president writing, quote, "This nation was founded on a simple yet profound principle. No one is above the law." He'll speak on this issue today in remarks at the LBJ Presidential Library in Austin, Texas. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Overseas, first it was trains, now it's IT systems, the target of vandalism around France as the Paris Olympic Games roll on.
According to the French government, multiple telecommunications links have been hit, affecting fiber and fixed and mobile phone lines around the country. A police official says at least a half dozen of France's administrative departments have been affected, including the region around the Mediterranean city of Marseille, hosting Olympic soccer and sailing competitions. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
Here at home, 5 teenagers in Milwaukee recovering after an early morning shooting.
Milwaukee police say the quintuple shooting happened near 92nd and Silver Spring at around 5 Sunday morning. An 18-year-old, a 17-year-old, 2 16-year-olds, and a 15-year-old all suffering non-fatal injuries. All 5 teens arrived at local hospitals to seek treatment of their gunshot wounds. This comes just a week after a 17-year-old girl was shot and killed, with 9 others injured at a party in Milwaukee's Deneen Park. In another gathering of young people turned violent. MPD says nobody is in custody and they're investigating what led up to the shooting. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, suspects are still on the loose after an assault over the weekend in Random Lake up in Sheboygan County, which happened during the Random Lake picnic at Random Lake's fire department late Saturday. The alleged assault taking place behind the main tent at the event. The department looking for at least 3 suspects.
Nobody hurt after an emergency landing in Dodge County. The sheriff's office received reports of a plane flying very low with sounds like it was having an issue. This was Sunday morning. Law enforcement arrived at the area of a field near the town of Hubbard. 2 planes were in that farm field. One was a pilot from Georgia who lost power, says he had to bring the plane down. The second plane was traveling with that pilot and landed just to check on both of them. Both planes back on the air heading to Georgia. They were coming from the EAA. Again, nobody hurt.
It was, of course, a very busy weekend in Milwaukee and all of southeast Wisconsin, including the Harley Homecoming, which was a good week both at the lakefront and in the pocketbook for the event. Business Journal's Rich Kirchen telling Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News he believes the transition to an annual event for Harley Homecoming is part of the company's effort to build brand loyalty.
It's about building on that connection that the company has with its riders. You know, if they're willing to ride here from hundreds or thousands of miles away and spend some time, visiting the museum, hanging out with each other, going to the dealerships, it's sort of the ultimate way of connecting with your customers.
Kirchen says the company beat expectations with its earnings for last quarter. The company did lay off around 150 employees earlier this summer.
Coming up, honoring number 8.
Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 8:05.
When you're at State Fair this year, be sure to check out the Bank 5-9 Amphitheater, State Fair's largest free entertainment venue, featuring acts like Here Come the Mummies, Gaelic Storm, and Pat McCurdy. Bank 5-9 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they've served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Bank 5-9 between August 1st and 11. Member FDIC.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at 3 Pillars so special? Let's hear from 3 Pillars resident Doris.
Living at 3 Pillars is wonderful in many ways. If there's an activity that you like to do, it's not there, it will be arranged so that it can be put into place. A couple people wanted a bocce ball court. It was put in and people love it. There are book groups, play groups. There's a group of foodies who love to have good food and go to good restaurants. There are all kinds of activities for every kind of personality.
Schedule a tour today at 3pillars.org.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 8:06.
I'm here to support the black-owned business because it's not too many around no more.
Brunetta Johnson, one of the many shoppers at Sherman Park Grocery that got in on their grocery giveaway over the weekend. The store is celebrating its 2nd anniversary Saturday by giving away $10,000 in grocery gift cards in an effort to tackle food insecurity. Johnson, talking to our partners at TMJ4 News.
They understand the shortage of food, the shortage of money. Ever since the COVID, So their prices are reasonable. They're here for the black community.
The store is hoping to raise funds for those on its gift card waiting list.
Heads up in Greendale, police warning about a new home repair distraction scam where someone will come to your door and try to get you to come outside of your home. Then while you're distracted, a second person enters inside stealing money or valuables. Police reminding individuals not to open the door for people you aren't expecting and always ask for ID so you can check them and their company out. If you do exit your home, make sure to lock your doors behind you.
A Brewers legend returns to American Family Field. Ryan Braun was inducted into the Brewers Walk of Fame Sunday. He teased fans with the possibility of coming out of retirement. No, he's not coming out of retirement, but he did take to the field to give a speech.
While this is an individual honor, baseball is the ultimate team sport, and none of my success would be possible without an incredible group of family, friends, teammates, coaches, support staff, and all of you incredible fans.
Braun's the 23rd individual to receive the honor of being inducted into the Brewers Walk of Fame. Hey, big news today in an op-ed written into the Washington Post. President Biden is proposing some changes to the Supreme Court, mainly term limits. How would we expect the High Court to respond? We'll dig into it next.
I love the Fox and Hounds, voted the best supper club in the area and serving fabulous meals for almost 90 years in their rustic timber building. WTMJ's John Mercure here. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free always. Desserts, too. It's the best dining value in the state. Steak, seafood, pasta, even the steak and lobster, and prime rib on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Your second dinner is free as you dine in one of the 8 elegant dining rooms. Relax with your favorite beverage on the patio in the woods. It's spectacular. Incredible place to have a drink. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. Wherever you live, it's worth the beautiful drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest to the Fox and Hounds, a summer must-see. Gift cards are perfect year-round gifts, as your second dinner is always free, FREE free. Order online at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. Brighten up your Monday and Tuesday with a free dinner tonight. Tables are open at my favorite place, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
For your next exterior remodeling project, we know you're not asking a lot from us. You want the right products for your situation, you want a few different financing options that can make your project affordable, and you want us to do a good job with minimal disruption to your life. And this one's important. You want a warranty that matters. And we know that checking every box makes all the difference. You might be surprised at how many moving parts go into it, but we have just the right people in all the right places to pull that off every day and make it look easy. The company we have took us 21 years to build. It's an awesome place to work because we never stop improving it. And we think we can do this work so well that we can actually change the reputation of exterior remodelers long term. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Ask about our finance options.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
8:10. Debbie Lazaga, happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday. We're looking at pretty standard stuff right now. Your usual delays southbound 43 from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Once you get past, I would say probably about Keefe, you're good to go into the Marquette. Northbound's a little backed up from North Avenue up past Keefe. Eastbound 94, watch for the delays kicking in right about at 70th Street all the way through the stadium to 35th. Westbound's about heavy from 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. And then on the bypass heading westbound, through the construction zone, 27th Street all the way to 68th. You're going to be riding the brakes there. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. So it's going to be hot and humid pretty much all week. Get some respite on the weekend, but today a high of 81. There is a chance for some midday showers and storms. Humid today. Tonight partly cloudy, a low of 71. Now Tuesday, it's pretty much carbon copy most of these days. Sunny, hot and humid, a high of 87 on Tuesday with a slight chance for a storm. Wednesday, same thing, hot and humid, slight chance for a storm. Thursday, hot and humid, chance for a storm. Friday, hot and humid, chance for a storm. So, yeah, it's going to be summer in Wisconsin for the next several days.
Yippee.
At 8:12, 74 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. In for Vince Petrano, here's Erik Bilstad.
Vince is back tomorrow. Erik along with Adam Roberts. My thanks to Greg Hill for producing the big show today. My thanks to Debbie Lazga, of course, and Tiff Pua in the newsroom. So President Biden is making news today. He unveiled a long-awaited proposal for changes to the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, the president is calling on Congress to establish term limits and an ethics code for the court's 9 justices. He's also pressing lawmakers to ratify a constitutional amendment that would limit presidential immunity. Joining us now on the Tri-County Contracting Hotline here on Wisconsin's Morning News is Thane Rosenbaum from CBS News. He's a CBS News legal analyst to walk through this for us. Thane, good morning. Let's start with the term limits. The idea is to not give them life on the to be able to work forever. It's let's cut this short a bit.
Yeah, I mean, but this, of course, requires an act of Congress.
Sure.
That is not a constitutional amendment. So Congress would have to essentially vote to change the article in which the Supreme Court is identified in the Constitution and change it from lifetime appointments to term limits appointment. I think they want to scatter it so that a president of the United States every single 2 years puts someone else on. I think that would be the idea, that no matter who, Democrat or Republican, you each get 2 picks during your administration. Not going to be easy lift. I'm not sure they have the votes. They would need at least 2/3, I believe, for that. But that's the goal there, right? The goal there is to limit their influence from lifetime appointment. Remember, what we've now seen over the last dozen years ago is we try to put people on who are very young, right, for that reason, so that we give them 30 years on the court. Yeah. So there are all sorts of really good people that you could put in their 60s or 70s, which frankly would, to me, make more sense, but they don't do that anymore. Right? They should put someone on the court that's 75 and say, look, for the next 3 years, they might be phenomenal. They've been so, they have such an incredible judicial track record. But, look, the Supreme Court believes in the separation of powers. And so all of this sounds good, but they're going to be heavy resistance. None of them, I think, certainly the Chief Justice, who believes in the institutional independence of the court, is going to be offended by all of this and is going to see this as a power grab.
Thane, it's interesting the timing on this, I think, because we've been hearing a lot, especially this election cycle, about the now current President Biden's age, as well as the age of other candidates in that race for the White House. And so now we have the timing on this, which would appear to try and limit how long a judge can run in. Do you think the timing is interesting, or is it purely coincidental?
No, it's definitely interesting. Look, Kamala Harris has to do a lot of things to win, but the most important thing to do is to guarantee that her base will show up and vote for her. And her base hates the Supreme Court, hates them beyond measure. Why? Well, Dobbs' case, the abortion case, a number of rulings dealing with voting rights and the way congressional maps are drawn up in some states, especially in the South. So progressives, need to be motivated, and this will motivate them. That's why you're also going to hear her say a lot of things that the pro-Israel crowd is going to hate. They're going to hate it, but they're doing it I think, for political reasons, to shore up their base, to make sure that the same people that are, if they're American citizens and vote, who are protesting on campus, show up to vote. That they're not just sleeping in campus, but they actually vote. So I just think, it's not a coincidence. The question is, will people resent this or think that this is a very good indication of a kind of activism that they wanted the Biden administration to already implement years ago?
A Marquette University Law School poll a couple of months ago found that more than 60% of Americans disapprove of the job the court is doing. As far as the ethics code for the court's 9 justices. Who would police that under this plan? Who would they just be policing themselves?
Well, remember, the federal judges have an ethics code, but it doesn't, and that was already established by Congress, but it doesn't apply to the Supreme Court. The idea was that they should apply it to themselves, but they didn't. So over the last few years, Justice Roberts saw the tea leaves about this very bad polling numbers about the Supreme Court, and some of these are more controversial ethics issues about, lavish trips, vacations, yachts, for Justice Alito and Justice Thomas, roles that their wives have played in some of this. So there was an effort by the court to create their own code, and they did. But it's not even clear what's in the code. And given some of the more recent revelations about Justice Thomas and Alito, there are people who are saying, yeah, well, obviously, whatever code it is you implemented isn't expansive enough, and you're not making it binding. So let's do this again and find a way to make sure that it's binding. So that's really what they're really trying to do. But that's something that is internal to the court. And again, it's something that, they've always believed, we're the high court. We don't play by the exact same rules as the lower courts. And what this proposal suggests is we should have the same, very stringent ethics codes applied against you as we would against any other federal judge.
CBS legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum with us on Wisconsin's Morning News. So Thane, in addition to those two, we obviously then have the third mention in the op-ed on making sure there is no immunity for former presidents who have been convicted of criminal activity. Now, all of this sets up very unlikely to actually go through in your mind, reading the tea leaves?
Yeah, this is a really heavy lift. So remember what has to happen. First of all, the president has no role at all in constitutional amendments. He could write 1,000 op-eds. It doesn't matter. He doesn't get to pick that legislation. He doesn't have a veto power. It's not like regular legislation where the president proposes legislation, works along with Congress, retains the veto power. When it comes to constitutional amendment, he or she is out of this game. He needs to convince Congress and the Senate to create a constitutional amendment that 2/3 of each body will vote on, that will develop this kind of an amendment that strips any kind of immunity from a president for official acts taken during their presidency. That, of course, would conflict with the very same Supreme Court decision that was just made. That was. Which is essentially said if he's engaged in official acts, he can do whatever he wants as its official act. So that raises a constitutional crisis anyway. Like, what are you guys doing? The Supreme Court already said if it's an official act. What are you saying? So they have to find a way to make sure the Constitution, the amendment, is it different? Does it directly attack this decision of the Supreme Court? Now, after 2/3 of both houses of Congress vote such an amendment, they send it to the states, and every state legislature has to ratify it, and 3/4 of them have to do that. That's a lot. I don't know what that is. 30 states? That's a lot of states. So that's a very heavy lift. Give you an example. We haven't had a constitutional amendment since 1992.
Right.
It's not one that anyone cares about. It has to do with congressional salaries, but it's not like we do this very often, and we don't do this very often. The last time we did it in a, very comprehensive way was back in the 1960s with the 3 Civil War amendments, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, right? But that's the 1960s, and it dealt with the sweeping change in civil rights protections for African Americans. That's a long time ago. This has the look of something huge, right? And so the question is, does Congress want any part of this? Do they have the votes for this? Republicans aren't going to vote for this because they're going to see this as a direct attack against a conservative Supreme Court that just ruled in favor of Donald Trump.
CBS legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum on Wisconsin's Morning News. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you.
Thane discussing President Biden's unveiling of a proposal for changes to the U.S. Supreme Court. So the president is calling on Congress to establish term limits, so it'd be 18-year term limits for the justices, and an ethics code for the court's 9 justices. So then, as you heard Thane say there'd be this like alternating every 2 years, likely they would have it set up where a justice would then be nominated by a president. So each president would get 2 for the 4 years. At least that's the idea behind this plan. He's also pressing lawmakers to ratify a constitutional amendment that would limit presidential immunity. The president expected to address this situation when he is in Austin, Texas, speaking at the LBJ Presidential Library later today. It's 8:22. Got to get to the roads. Checking with Debbie from Lazaga. Hi, Debbie.
Hey there. Southbound 43 still going to be a bit backed up from just south of Silver Spring all the way down past Keefe. Northbound is slowing down from just north of Fond du Lac Avenue to Keefe. Eastbound 94, watch for backups from just before 76th Street to about Hawley Road. Then you're clear to go all the way through into the Marquette. Westbound is looking a little tight from 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, and then 894 westbound. As usual, through the construction zone from about 27th Street, you're seeing delays all the way to 68th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
I'm Greg Matzik. Nobody should be balancing a checkbook ever. Ever, ever, ever. Why would you do it? It makes no sense. You never account for interest. You will always be pennies off. It will drive you mad.
And I'm Jessica Ty. If it's on time, it's in green. If it's red, it's misery. So right now, Chicago, for the most part, is on time. But there's still a significant amount of misery.
Okay. You don't want that.
And the misery map says it's okay in Oshkosh. Not dealing with global life. Wisconsin's Midday News.
On WTMJ.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. Admit it, you're watching it. You're watching the swimmers and the divers and the track runners, and you're thinking, boy, that makes my knees hurt. Just the idea of watching these athletes makes you ache. That's because of the arthritis that you've got, the joint arthritic issues that you've got, and you want to get it fixed, but you don't want to go under the knife. Well, there is another way. QC Kinetics. That's the way you get rid of that bone-on-bone constant pain you're dealing with. QC Kinetics. That means no surgery, no downtime, and no drugs. Call them today. QC Kinetics can help you along the way. The future of medicine. So here's the number, 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. Get to one of their locations, one in Mequon, one in Greenfield. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474.
Haul away big deals this Thursday through Sunday during Fleet Farm's Truckload Savings Event. Get 40 pounds of black oil sunflower seed on sale for $12.99. Save $150 on a Blackstone 28-inch griddle, now just $249.99. Pick up 2 40-pound bags of Diamond Crystal Softener Salt for only $10. And get a 27-gallon industrial tote on sale for $6.99. Don't miss out on truckload deals this Thursday through Sunday only at Fleet Farm.
Downtown Milwaukee is the place to be for summer fun. On Saturday, catch the thrills of the Milwaukee River Challenge as collegiate and club teams take on the Menominee and Milwaukee Rivers. Then, make plans to check out Doors Open September 23rd and 24th as more than 100 venues open their spaces for public exploration. So come on down. Experience downtown in every sense. Go to MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
Wisconsin's Morning News. Vince is back tomorrow. Erik Bilstad along with Adam Roberts. So the Summer Olympics are underway. They're really getting into it now. They're still having issues with the safety concerns of the river. The Seine still causing problems.
New questions about water quality in the Seine after triathlon practices were canceled yesterday. Officials in Paris have spent more than $1 billion to ensure the water will be safe. They insist upcoming races are not in jeopardy.
Yeah, but the practices were in jeopardy and did not run, so clearly there's a problem there.
Now, I've seen the Seine in peacetime, if you will, with no major world event happening, and I can confirm that it is dicey in the best of times.
Mud soup.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we had the rain with the opening ceremonies and then also over the weekend. And as we know from around here, anytime it rains, it pours. And that includes litter and trash as well.
You know, I wondered about that too. Like, do you know where I wouldn't want to be if I was competing in the Olympics?
Where's that?
Standing on a boat in the rain for several hours the day before.
Although it made for a great shot of LeBron holding the American flag, there were all the comparisons to Washington on the Delaware as LeBron crosses the dirty Seine.
Yeah, well, so they've tested it. It's toxic at the moment. They're still very confident, as you heard there, that they will be able to run their events in the Seine later this week. Meanwhile, some breaking news this morning. It was a train issue at first. Now it's an IT system that was the target of vandalism around France.
According to the French government, multiple telecommunications links have been hit, affecting fiber and fixed and mobile phone lines around the country. A police official says at least a half dozen of France's administrative departments have been affected, including the region around the Mediterranean city of Marseille, hosting Olympic soccer and sailing competitions. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
Yeah, so still trying to get our arms around what exactly this is, what the motivation is for this vandalism now to target the IT. Is it meant for something, unbelievably evil, or is it meant to just be a disruption and chaos? Don't know that. But what we do know is that someone was arrested for the train situation.
Correct. Yeah, they were arrested over the weekend. And at least as far as telecoms lines go, we had ABC's Inez de la Catera talking with us earlier. So clearly they are able to make at least mobile calls, or at least in certain areas, it would appear.
And Greg has been tallying up the gold medals, and America right now has a paltry, 2?
Paltry.
3.
3, thank you. 3 gold medals. Okay. I don't know. I'd say we're down at the moment. Got to be better than that.
So are you the one that's like, I don't care what the cumulative total is. I only care about first, because if you ain't first, you're last?
No. Actually, I will say that this is the one competition that I would say I'm cool getting anything. You know what I mean? If I'm top 3, I'm ecstatic if I'm an Olympian.
Is there almost a certain expectation when you have the Olympic program that we do here, regardless if it's winter or summer? Like, come on, guys, we better be at least top 3.
I mean, I guess it depends on the event, too. But the U.S. generally does very well in the summer games especially. But depending on the event, you could have a disappointment. Like the U.S. women's gymnastics team with Simone Biles expected to do very well. She did great, even though she's dinged up a little bit. The U.S. team basketball, both men and women, should do very well. So, if you look at it from that perspective.
Yep, we'll get our first look of the U.S. women's basketball squad today. One of the big events of the day. They'll take on China. And then also the U.S. men's gymnastics competing for the medals in the all-around. You mentioned Simone. Also, Suni Lee will be competing in the all-around for the women.
8:30, your headlines are next.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Guthrie and Fry protects the water in my house. Guthrie and Fry has provided expert advice, quality service, and reliable water since 1974. Owners Sue and Rob are well known and very generous in the local community for supporting great causes that change lives. We've got their water softener. We've got their reverse osmosis system. Our water is crisp, clean, and clear. GFwater.com. It's Guthrie and Fry.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
When traveling at 20 miles per hour, the average stopping distance is about 40 feet.
That stopping power is calculated in both thinking and braking distance.
And assuming you've got the thinking and braking part down, the only thing left is good tires.
Just Google Richlands to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 convenient locations.
And rest assured, we'll put you in the right tire no matter what sort of vehicle you drive.
Plus, every tire purchase that we install automatically comes with our free flat tire protection plan.
5 conveniently located facilities, all AAA approved.
And all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to install your tires.
So Google Richlands
or go to richlands.com.
And remember to be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you have good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands, your
due for tire service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
You are a guaranteed winner with Siding Unlimited, Wisconsin's best contractor for your home's beauty and defense. Siding Unlimited is siding, of course, but so much more. Windows, roofing, decks. Siding Unlimited is recognized as the MVP in all those areas by customers and suppliers alike. You want major league work done on your house, so start by contacting Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Our video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring positive, professional servers, bartenders, and pizza cooks. You'll make real cash. Inquire today and start next week. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
8:32, I'm Erik Bilstad. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Monday, July 29th. Our top story, setting the security for the next convention.
I'm Adam Roberts, another commissioner out.
I'm Debbie Loziga, southbound on 43. Hitting the brakes just south of Silver Spring all the way down past Keefe. Northbound slow from North Avenue up to Keefe. Westbound 94 a little heavy from about 35th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Pockets of heavy traffic eastbound now on 94 right past 76th Street. Again from Hawley Road all the way through the Stadium Interchange. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Cloudy and humid today. Chance for some midday showers or storms, a high of 81. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 71. It's going to be humid for most of the week. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 74 at 8:33. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center. The Democratic National Convention is 3 weeks away. It's going to be held in Chicago, and security measures are being put in place for that event right now. News Nation's Alex Caprelio is at the United Center.
The FBI says there are no known or credible threats to the Democratic National Convention here at the United Center in a little more than 3 weeks. Both federal and local law enforcement were in Milwaukee for the RNC to observe their operations and come up with a game plan that will be safe and successful. An incredibly thorough outreach program is also now underway, where city leaders are speaking to businesses, neighbors, and activist groups to ensure everyone is aware of the expectations surrounding this massive event. But Mayor Brandon Johnson says his city has been preparing for this moment since the day it was announced.
The Chicago Police Department is expecting thousands to show up to demonstrate or protest.
We are less than 100 days to go until the presidential election this November, with much of the Democratic Party now rallying around Vice President Kamala Harris as the presumptive nominee. However, Democratic presidential hopeful Marianne Williamson tells WTMJ she thinks uniting around Harris could have unintended consequences.
My contention is that if we don't open up the convention, it will be boring. You know, the Republicans had a very highly energized convention, and we need one too. And you don't get high-level energy from people who are simply doing what it was decided would be done.
Williamson says the problem started with the primaries and a lack of serious challengers to President Biden. She's worried the same thing is happening now.
5 teenagers are recovering after a shooting over the weekend in Milwaukee. Police say this happened near 92nd and Silver Spring. Happened early Sunday morning around 5 o'clock. An 18-year-old, a 17-year-old, 2 16-year-olds, and a 15-year-old all suffered non-fatal injuries. They all arrived at local hospitals to get treatment. Now, it comes just a week after a 17-year-old girl was shot and killed and 9 others were injured at a car party that was being held at Milwaukee's Deneen Park. Police say no one is in custody.
Another commissioner has left Milwaukee's Social Development Commission Board. That's the 4th since operations were suspended this past April. Serena Chavez had been elected to represent SDC's District 5 as board secretary. The all-volunteer board meeting frequently since the spring to work on a plan to reopen the SDC and its services. Earlier this year, the agency had reported a, quote, misallocation of funds before firing its finance director before the CEO resigned at the board's request.
Time now for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. Just getting underway on Wall Street. The Dow starting down 92, the NASDAQ up 86, and the S&P is up 9 as they, again, just rang the bell. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Coming up, a Hollywood stunner. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:36.
When you're at State Fair this year, be sure to check out the Bank 5-9 Amphitheater, State Fair's largest free entertainment venue, featuring acts like Here Come the Mummies, Gaelic Storm, and Pat McCurdy. Bank 5-9 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they've served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Bank 5-9 between August 1st and 11. Member FDIC.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of Euro Milwaukee Brewers.
It's time we had a heart-to-heart.
That's all.
Wow, Wayne, that is a beautiful window.
It sure is, Jeff. It really tackles energy efficiency.
Sure has a nice slide.
It's one of the best screenplays I've ever seen.
They're so easy to close. I'd say it's a grand slam.
If you guys keep making those dad jokes, you're going to be a real pain in my neck.
Oh, that's a good one. Did you hear about this one?
Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 7/31/2024.
Couple of Hollywood stories from over the weekend. One of them, as expected, Deadpool. What's it called? Deadpool and Wolverine doing very well at the box office.
Very original title, too, I may add. I wonder how long they took to think of that one. Well, yes, $205 million with an M on opening weekend. Remember, the story earlier this year was that it was a down start to the box office for Hollywood. Not anymore. Inside Out 2, shattering records, and now, of course, $205 million for an R-rated flick.
So what have we learned? We've basically learned that franchises work. We've seen that done before. And apparently Marvel and the comic book idea is still a thing. Now, Deadpool's different. It's not your typical...
Very different.
Yeah, it's not your typical... Yeah, right, Deb? I mean, it's its own entity.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like how it's crossing over with Wolverine, but, with the X-Men.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, there is a little bit of Marvel aspect, but it isn't your template of a superhero movie by any stretch of the imagination.
Now, speaking of Marvel, it wasn't the only big scoop of the weekend for the major film franchise. Out at Comic-Con, the big one was this weekend in San Diego. And historically, if there's a big reveal that's going to happen in the nerdverse, if you will, it's usually at this major Comic-Con. And that was no different this year.
Ladies and gentlemen, as proof of the unimaginable possibilities in the Marvel multi-universe, we give you the one person who could play Victor Von Doom.
I think you heard someone say it's not Downey.
So comes out with a mask on.
Oh, you were wrong, buddy. You said it's not Downey. It is Downey. Robert Downey Jr. whips off the mask. He will play Dr. Doom in the movie coming out in 2026, early that year. This, and you and I remarked on it earlier, was remarkably done by the Comic-Con crew. Fantastic.
Dr. Doom was based for which hero?
Fantastic Four, right?
Okay,
Isn't he part of that little? So anyway, they have a reboot of that coming as well. So they had what's fascinating about the Marvel situation is that they have different stories that they can always steal from comic books, but they already had a bad guy set They already had a plan in place with an actor named Jonathan Majors, who's now convicted of assault. And because of that, they had to come up with a different plan. They didn't want to use this actor. They fired him, quote unquote, after he was convicted. They want to deal with his domestic violence situation. So they had to come up with something. And how about that? You get the most popular actor in the entire franchise to come back and play someone new.
You talk about a pivot. We just said, know what works. And yes, you may be thinking, okay, well, I've seen this guy in Iron Man. That's a pretty well-known Downey character, but it doesn't appear to be impacting him at all.
New mask. Same task.
He's a poet and didn't know it.
What did I tell you? I like playing complicated characters.
So what does this mean when they say, oh, it's is he Tony Stark? Does he play Iron Man playing the other guy, or is he completely different character?
I can't imagine because, and again, I'm no Marvel person, but it's pretty clear that Iron Man was taken care of, if you will, at the end of the last franchise movie. So I would assume not, but, and I've talked about this with you off air, I worry that as we've seen in Marvel movies, they love their little coy references around the universe, and I think that's the wrong route to go with this. Let him establish himself as this character, and then let that take off for the next however many years. Don't be playing coy, making your references, and that's just what we do.
I got to get the Russo brothers on the phone so you can give them some advice on how to write these upcoming movies.
Let me tell you something. I don't have any children, but here's how you should raise them.
2026, that's when the first Avengers movie with this Dr. Doom character will show up. It's 8:42, 8:43 now. Debbie Lazga, big Marvel fan, reveling in the exciting news.
Yes, I still have to see Deadpool and Wolverine. I am dying to go see that. Oh my God, I love Deadpool so much. It's so funny. Anywho, southbound 43. We do have backups from just before Hampton, all the way down past Keefe. The northbound side, very heavy from North Avenue up past Keefe as well. Things getting better on 94. East and westbound still a bit tight through the stadium interchange in both directions, but overall, those delays are starting to shrink. Westbound on 894 as well. Bit heavy from Loomis to about 68th Street, but overall, it's starting to get a little bit better in that area as well. Hey, by the way, BRI's on the roads report accident slowdowns and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to SemperFiRoofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Ask about our finance options.
When you need to sell quickly, choose Grandview to buy your home, even if it's less than perfect. Don't waste time and money on finding a real estate agent and dealing with showings. We'll buy your home completely as is. No repairs, not even a clean out. Grandview Homes gives you an offer in hours, and we close on the day you choose in as little as 10 days with no closing costs. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today. Grandview Homes, the fastest and easiest way to sell your home.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Wisconsin's Morning News, Erik Bilstad along with Adam Roberts. Vince is back tomorrow. Well, we made it through We made it through what was anticipated to be a very, very hectic and chaotic and busy weekend. We had Harley Fest, of course. We had the Air and Water Show. We had German Fest. We had everything.
River West 24.
We had the Brewers playing at home. River West 2024, yeah. So there's multiple things that took place. And so far, it appears that for the most part, we made it through. There were a couple of issues, of course, of different things that happen, of course, when you have large crowds and people on motorcycles and that type of thing. But for the most part, we made it through. We'll bring you this here, a couple of snippets from the Ryan Braun speech. Of course, Ryan Braun inducted into the Brewers Walk of Fame on Sunday.
With immense gratitude and pride and humbled to be standing in front of you. You know, I've been in town for a few days now, and I've been joking with some of the players and Coach Murphy that we could pivot and make this speech the official announcement that I'm coming out of retirement to play the rest of this season. At least I think we were joking. Where's Murph? Look at Murph over here. Were you joking?
Just kidding. No, that would have been great if he would have all of a sudden walked out and had the spikes on, but no. So, and he had a lot of people there. Corey Hart was there. Doug Melvin was there, and others celebrating that.
It was just like a walkthrough of all of the guys and greats from those teams that, as the Brewers kind of came out of the struggles of the early part of this millennium and then started to get it going again. You've seen all these guys that I remember watching on TV every single day. Doug Melvin was also there, had pretty funny quip.
And some evenings, I'll go and grab a whiskey, sit out on the patio, pull up the YouTube highlights. And there's a lot of highlights. I'm drunk at the end of the night. And there's some evenings.
So drinks whiskey while watching Ryan Braun highlights. All right.
It's one way to pass the time, I suppose.
Got to find yourself a hobby there, Doug. So then there was also the big show. So we had Jelly Roll on Friday night at the lakefront for Harley, and then we had Red Hots on Saturday night. I knew a couple of people that were at the Red Hot show that weren't terribly impressed with the show. They said it kind of went on, and it was boring at times.
Yeah, I woke up on Sunday to a scathing review by Pete Levy in the Journal, which I think Pete normally tries to find the good, at least. Even if there's a bad show, it's like, oh, well, there was something, but it's about 3 pages of woof from Levy.
But I heard that Friday night was pretty remarkable, but lots of people downtown enjoying that. So great to know that that was happening and that it took place and that everyone enjoyed themselves. At least it sounds like they enjoyed themselves, even if the show wasn't terribly great on Saturday night. So then there's this story, and I'm trying to figure out, I'm happy for him. Super happy for him, but I'm just curious where it came from. The USA Today has 27 different bars that it is celebrating this year, the bars of the year. And there's 27 across the country that it's decided to celebrate. And one of them is from Milwaukee. And I'm so curious, if you didn't know what the answer is, what someone would say, you know, if you were asked, hey, what bar do you think from Milwaukee would make the top 27, according to USA Today's bars of the year? And here it is. It's Bryant's, which has been around a long time. Popular bar on the south side there, the Cocktail Lounge. And it was selected for its reputation as one of the oldest cocktail lounges in Milwaukee, if not the oldest. And it's beautiful couches, of course, that you can sit on. That's
home of the Pink Squirrels, one of their many ice cream beverages.
Yes.
They are claimed to be the inventor of the Pink Squirrel, but that seems like kind of a thing you could just lob on any pink strawberry ice cream drink. Like, whoa, this is the Pink Squirrel, 1895. Old Jimmy McLee, he invented it right here at McLee's Tavern.
I would never know, but I've only known it for Ed Bryant's. But okay, if you say so. No, the best part about it is that obviously they picked one for Milwaukee. I just thought it was funny. I'm like, well, you know, there's plenty of other bars.
You think they maybe just pulled they have like the
why
hat
not two
that they pull and all right, well, we'll just pick one. And it's just a giant top hat, and there's so many bars around here. All right, Bryant's.
Do that.
There you go.
Some of the bars that they picked are humble dives. Others are high end. Bryant's, I would say, is more on the high-end level of things, but one of those cool places. You haven't been there in a while. It's one of those places for me anyway where it's like, wow, what's the last time I've been there? Got to make a swing past that place and make sure that they're still getting the the customers they deserve.
When that story came out, I saw on Reddit people were saying, yeah, it's a great place if you want a quiet bar, for to actually hear yourself talk.
That's true.
It's one of the things that if you go out and you want to have a conversation, it's so hard sometimes to not at Bryant's.
8:51. All right, Debbie Lazagan.
All right, wrapping things up here. We do have some delays still left over on southbound 43 from just north of Hampton all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound is a bit slow from just before Center Street up to Keefe. We've also got westbound 94, just a quick tap of the brakes coming out of the Stadium interchange. Eastbound's just a little bit tight in there as well. And then westbound on 894, backed up from west of Loomis all the way to 68th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning